welcome to the Poor Hammer Podcast, episode 230. I'm your host, Brad. This is my co-host, Eric.
How's it going?
And after 229 episodes of having never done this, we're going to do hot takes for a codex. To give you guys the background behind the scenes here, the Ork Codex leaked onto the internet in full literally 5 minutes ago, but last night it partially leaked. It's just timed really well for us to record this, and it's the first codex of 11th edition, so while I don't generally think we're going to do this for every codex, this is an important one to cover. So let's talk about our first look at what an 11th edition codex is like.
Sounds good.
All right, but before we start, we've got two pieces of news. First, we're doing another book club. You've got a month to read The Wicked and the Warp. Grab it on Audible or get a hold of a paperback copy or an ebook or whatever. Figure it out. You've got 1 month to read it. Looks like it's like 12 hours on Audible. I'm about to hit the start button myself, and we're going to find out how great it is. As for our second piece of news, we are doing a giveaway. If you want to win a box of Exodite, or if you would like to win one of our other two prizes of the Guard or the CSM Battle Forces, then you can join this giveaway. Our patrons automatically get entered, and next week we're going to give you instructions if you want to enter for free. But it's like $3 and supports the show, so the patron method is preferable if you ask me. I'm just saying.
Patreon.com/solely-singleton.
There you go, though. Let's get into this.
All right. I mean, we're going to talk the Ork Codex because, well, one, it's pretty cool, and two, I play orcs. But also, this is the first codex for 11th edition. I think that's a pretty important expectation setting precedent. This is what 11th edition is going to kind of look like. We're going to get soft cover codexes.
Yeah. There's some interesting talk on the technicals of this. I guess we can rip the Band-Aid off on some of the stuff I don't like before we get into a lot of really good stuff. Generally, the Codex is great from a rules standpoint. We'll get into that. But yeah, codices being softcover, I don't have an issue with for a reference mid-game.
No.
That's the sales pitch of hardcovers are a pain in the ass to bring to the game.
It is legitimately annoying to have to fan through the hardcover book. And they've got the little hard sleeve that you can put it in your shelf and not get ruined. So it's fine.
This is a fine option to have. My problem is you're doing this at the same time. There are no even hints of points in this book. They just took them out entirely. So you must go use, the MFM or whatever to go get your who can lead what, your points, how many points every detachment costs currently, all that. The full rules are not in this rule book that you are forced to pay money for. But the rules are not freely available online, so it's not like this is just a cool collector's item that I can just tell you, go grab it, it's fucking awesome. They keep on trying to play both sides of this when it's just make the rules digital and free so we don't have to deal with that portion. And then you can make this not softcover. You can make this a gold filigree, crazy, super special, awesome. It's $120, but who fucking cares? They did this on the tail end of 10th edition with the Chaos Codices, where they each gave you a quarter of a coin.
Yeah.
And look, I want free digital rules, but at the same time, I'm the sucker you can sell that to all day long as a collector item, especially now with the brag that they made this soft cover, so it'd be easy to bring to your game, but they gave it 100 pages of lore.
You bring up a great point of playing both sides here that I kind of hate, but you're 100% spot on of they're trying to make it cooler with a bunch of lore. That's awesome. I want to see that kind of stuff. I want it to be a cool book with awesome art and some lore, and that's awesome. But it's also soft cover now so that you can use it in the game because it has all of your rules, but also not actually all of your rules. It's tough, man.
So there's the second problem with this too. And this one rubs me the wrong way even worse. They repeatedly now, in their little sales pitch things on Warcom, have been talking about how the code in the back of your book is so super important because it's your ticket to free rules updates. Bitch, that's not what free means.
Well, okay. I don't know that in all of the articles it's free. I mean, it feels like it is trying to be that way, but at least in the one that was pitched for this is your 11th edition codex, it was additional content throughout the edition, including rules and lore, which is fuck that.
This one reads to me as actively a threat.
Yeah.
This is Games Workshop threatening its player base. Put that on your drama video.
You have to subscribe.
Because this is the one where it's during the hot takes that Eric got to fucking miss, the worst one to ever have to deal with, we were just dying trying to read the fucking rules update. It was so ass.
Yeah, no, I gave up reading it through that, and I found a thing online that had it like formatted in a nice way.
Yeah, it was terrible day one. But I realize that the reason the data slate was dog shit is because it's a stopgap. They're not going to do a proper data slate ever again. They're just going to be like, don't have your fucking codex code? Fuck you. Don't have the codex code for every faction in the game? You don't know if we fixed the problem with orcs. You don't know if we fixed the problem with whoever currently is super meta and pissing you off. Don't got your buddy's codex? Get fucked. I have strong feelings on this one if you can't tell. This is the fucking worst idea. This is ass. Just to keep this show running, Eric and I are going to have to buy 2 copies of every codex just to get a fucking code so that we can read the goddamn rules updates the day they happen.
Which, like, we do anyways, but also...
We buy 1 copy of every codex just to have them so that we're never breaking a rule when we discuss codices. But we do that as part of just having a show. But it's stupid that now I'm going to need one, Eric's going to need one, and our playgroup player who actually plays the fucking army is going to need it because it's theirs.
Yeah.
Just so that we can fucking discuss a data slate.
Which, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but our playgroup member is almost certainly gonna be on the high seas.
Yeah.
Right?
Anyone who pirates a codex in 11th edition, I am never going to tell you to do this because it would be illegal for me to do that. But know that I spiritually support your decisions until they fix this shit.
Yeah, maybe we're looking too much into it. Maybe they're gonna be releasing, the next update. You're gonna see it and it's gonna be well formatted and free and available. But it does seem like that's unlikely to be the case. But yeah, that's the logistics part of the codex for 11th out of the way. Now we can actually talk the rules and what it means, what we're expecting to actually play in 11th.
All right, so we're going off of a partial leak. It does have every rules page to it. We can't see the whole codex, so I can't tell you how cool the lore part is. And also, GW, we're buying this codex, so calm the fuck down. This will come out after the official reveal day where Tabletop Tactics and all them will get to show it off.
Yeah, so we're fine.
People who sign non-disparagement clauses, who can't say something negative, like I just did.
We're never gonna get access to those.
Media you can trust.
Yeah, so all of this grain of salt, it seems pretty legit.
It's clearly legit. It's pictures off someone's couch.
I mean, all of the articles that GW is showing us, it lines up one for one.
But yeah, we're not going to show any of the leaked stuff on screen on YouTube, just so you guys know. We will have BERILIO write out rules that are relevant so that you can read through them, hopefully correctly, but probably not, because BERILIO never makes mistakes.
Yeah.
But luckily, you're just as likely to hear us read a rule wrong, because Eric and I are known for being very good at reading.
Yeah, that's what it is, right?
That's what we're famous for. I've never misread anything.
No, never happened.
This is also going to be a pretty casual discussion after we get into the codex proper because we've had 20 minutes with this.
Yeah.
I have read everything either 0 or 1 times.
Yeah, it was quick look through, get a rough idea of what we're expecting kind of thing, which I guess start at the top, the army rule.
So the army rule is an interesting one. I like this because we've discussed this specific army rule as an example before of something that had problems. The Waaagh. So in previous editions, the Waaagh always had the issue of you call the Waaagh, it's your Waaagh turn, and then your army rule doesn't exist other than that, unless, we had the decaying Waaagh in 9th edition and all that.
Yeah, you call the Waaagh and that was it. Realistically, which is, it feels kind of okay for orcs, but it also is not great just from a general. You want there to be more from your army rule than just one turn.
My rule that I still stick by is if you don't have your army rule on turn 2, you don't have an army rule. I consider this to be one of the pivotal turns of the game. I can understand if an army rule doesn't turn on until turn 2. I can understand if an army rule fizzles out midway through a game. These are things I understand. But my general check is, on turn 2, does my army have its army rule? Yes, it's an army rule. No, it's not. Now, ideally, you have your army rule all game. Or it's very strong and you only get it for about half the game. And then you'll get little exception cases where you can kind of bring it back. The Waaagh previously was a 1-turn huzzah, big boost, and then it's gone. Now, So if you want to read it out, Eric.
So friendly orcs have reroll advance rolls, and they can become riled up. While a unit is riled up, it has a 5-up invuln. It has ranged attacks, get assault, and you can advance and charge. And you get the war cry once per battle per army. At the start of the command phase, you can use this ability. If you do, your orcs with the Waaagh ability are riled up. So you get a once per battle per army ability to turn on the riled up, which is all of the cool stuff.
Yeah, it's essentially what Waaagh is.
But you always have access to re-rolling advance rolls.
Yeah, so you get a static ability all game that's not very big, but it's something.
I mean, it's nice.
There's two important things here. On the one hand, you get the nice little, you can re-roll advance rolls all game. You technically have an army ability every turn now. Check that box. The more important one is that you don't just call the Waaagh and it's active and here's your list of buffs. You call the Waaagh and everything gets riled up. And then riled up has the definition of everything that the Waaagh entails. This let them, throughout this codex, have things rile stuff up individually.
Yeah.
So now on your non-Waaagh turn, that one important unit that really needs an extra Waaagh turn can get it, as long as you plan out for it, and your opponent doesn't stop your plan. And we're playing like a war game where there's like give and take and planning.
Yeah, and not just the one turn all or nothing. It's like throughout the game, which is awesome. It's a great way to do it.
Now, I will say throughout this review, in air quotes, more a review of how codices work in 11th, but throughout this review of orcs, we're not too worried about the balance. We don't even have the points, as we pointed out. We don't know the points because the MFM's not updated and this codex is not a complete rule set. We don't even know the detachment points, but we can make a guess. So we're going to not care about things from a balance standpoint. We care about things from a design standpoint. Design-wise, this update to the Waaagh is fantastic. This is wonderful. It shows they understood the flaws of the Waaagh and found intelligent ways to solve them without just making it stupid strong or anything like outside of the flavor it wants. It is a great solution.
Yeah, I mean, even added in ranged attacks, getting stuff. It's clean. I like it. It's not the only army rule, technically, though.
Yeah, we're sort of back to 9th edition. For those who don't know and started in 10th, which to be honest is probably a good chunk of our audience, in 8th and more so in 9th, because 9th was more complicated, armies had multiple army rules. Some of them were multiple major ones, some of them were a major and like 3 follow-up minor ones that did different stuff. We're kind of back to that. So you don't just have a single rule that has to encompass everything you want the army to have access to. So now we've got the follow-up rule of Debaus, which is at the start of your battle round, if a model with this ability is your warlord, gain a CP. Debaus, if you can't guess, is on like all the major war bosses.
Yeah, I didn't check to confirm that it's on all of them, but I'm pretty sure it's on all the war boss styles.
Every war boss has it, but like the big mech doesn't. So you can make an army where you don't have a war boss warlord and you don't get a free CP every battle round.
Yeah, which I mean, the default expectation is like you're gonna get an extra CP. Okay, that's cool. But like you do have to make sure that you are including the right models for that kind of thing. There is a cost to not including a proper warlord war boss.
And this is another good design because we've talked about this before of in 9th edition we had several armies with these flaws where you would have really restrictive warlord requirements where like you had to play this terrible ass model because it's the only thing you could legally make your warlord. Very annoying.
Yeah.
But it's interesting here because it's a reward for if you play your army with a war boss like they want you to, you get a CP every battle round. You can still technically play without this and just lose your extra CP per battle round. So like if you want to play something super thematic, it's less strong, but you can do it. But it means that you won't be doing it without cost. So from a competitive standpoint, they don't have to worry as much about if something becomes super meta where it's like take 6 different types of mechs and 0 war bosses, and that's the proper way to play orcs competitively. It's less likely to be the case.
Yeah, I mean, it's also another one of those like make sure not to lose your warlord.
This doesn't check if it's alive and in play. The model's still your warlord even after it's dead, right? I'd have to check 11th edition's ruling on that, but I'm pretty sure in 10th it still works.
I guess, yeah, maybe.
I'm pretty sure this is just 5 extra CP if you have a war boss in your list.
I mean, it's possible.
All right, but we can move on though. Welcome to Hot Takes. We don't know every answer right away.
Moving on from, honestly, a fine rule, but kind of boring, to unstable energies. Psychic is back.
Yes. Orcs, not the most famous psychic army, but they have a very famous psychic model with the Weird Boy. It's good to have psychic back. This is an acceptable way psychic is back. Having read through all of the psyker data sheets just to check real quick. Not my favorite implementation throughout history, but look, we're back filling it in. We knew even at Adepticon announcement day, technically the day after, with the follow-up meeting, when they flat out said, we decided psychic was coming back really late during the dev cycle. It did not make it in time for the core rules. The codices will be where psychic has to get back filled in. So I expect we're going to see a rule that is either exactly this rule, unstable energies, or something close to it on every single codex moving forward that has psychic.
Yeah, I expect that it's going to be something extremely similar, but I kind of hope that there's a little bit more flair, especially for some armies.
It's enough that you can build your flair on, though.
True.
Everything here, and the example is already, their example case is not in the Ork Codex. So I appreciate that this is clearly like a generic that is a good basis for psychic to come back with. We can make the psychicest army ever, Thousand Suns, Demons, Eldar, Grey Knights, you name it. They can all get the craziest psychic stuff with this as a baseline. We're good there. The exact examples in Orcs that we'll get to later are fine.
So, I mean, unstable energies is basically just psyker units have a psyker level and the abilities cost an amount of level kind of thing. So you get to use the psychic abilities up to however power level you are.
Yeah, so for their example, in a battle round, a psyker level 3 psyker is able to use 3 psychic level 1s or a psychic level 1 and a psychic level 2 spell, or 1 psychic level 3 spell. You have this many points per battle round for this psyker to spend on spells it has access to in total, however you decide to divvy it up. That's great. It's a fine basis. Psychic is back. The way you do psychic to speed us on ahead to a datasheet that has it. The Weird Boy is a psyker level 1, and the model has the psychic abilities listed in its psychic ability section is part of its rule. So technically that could change. That part of the rule is not part of the generic rule of unstable energies. That's part of the Weird Boy's datasheet. So it's possible in other armies, say Grey Knights, Thousand Suns, Eldar, whoever, you could have it where it's this model has the psychic abilities listed in its psychic ability section and the psychic abilities on the blank table in your army rules section or in the tables on your detachment sections.
Similar to how 10,000 Suns had their like table kind of thing.
Yeah, we had the Cabal ritual table in 10th. In 9th edition, our subfactions gave us access to a different psychic spell in addition to our core pool.
Right.
These are things that can now exist again. It's a great basis. We got to see psychic armies later, how they'll end up using this more en masse, but for now, there we go. As for how you do a psychic ability, we'll use the jump. It's important it's here. They checked the box. We're good. The jump is psychic level 1 because it kind of has to be because the Weird Boy's only a psyker 1. Once per army per battle round. In your movement phase, if the unit's not battle shocked, you can make a psychic roll. A psychic roll, you roll a d6. On a 1, the unit is battle shocked. Then place this unit in strategic reserves, and this unit has deep strike. Importantly, on a 1, you get battle shocked. It does not say end. You always pull off your psychic spell. Your psychic spells are reliable, but you can end up battle shocked from them 1 out of 6 times you cast them.
And you can't cast additional ones if you're battle shocked, at least so long as that follows through.
Yeah, as long as all the armies work that way. This does mean that spamming psychic level 1s on a psyker 4 or something, like if Magnus is a psyker 4 and he's got a bunch of level 1 spells, becomes exceedingly dangerous. You do not want to do that. You'd much rather cast 1 psychic 4 spell.
I mean, but sometimes volume is better than just 1 raw power kind of thing. So like I do hope that that continues forward as a way to help balance those types of things.
And we'll see if the Battle Shock is right for this. Again, Battle Shock in 11th edition was kind of the oversold, underdelivered thing so far. We'll see. But he has the jump and he has Warpath, which is another psychic 1 spell. Can choose between them. It's honestly pretty solid. It's not my favorite psychic that has ever existed. I loved rolling 2d6, getting perils, all that stuff. This is fine though. This is an acceptable version of psychic. We have to have this talk because everyone is going to wonder our thoughts on psychic. So pretty happy.
Yeah. And it looks like they've done a good job of putting together the core ideas. So like the jump is in movement, the other psychic ability, Warpath, is in fight phase. So it's not like a psychic phase. It's just you have access to these psychic abilities. They happen in the phases that they make sense to happen in.
Which is what we basically asked for.
Yeah.
Like it makes your opponent not complain all the time that he's got a whole extra phase in the game and I don't. won't.
Yeah.
Which was one of their reasons they took it away in 10th edition, is they claimed that casuals were saying this in casual games.
And like there were plenty of psychic spells that were like, yeah, this is only happening in psychic phase because it has to, but like it's only going to matter in the shooting.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Like all of the philosophy of how they've put together psychic here, I'm okay with. It looks like they have a lot of potential. Again, this is one of those like looking forward to what 11th can do. This is a good thing for 11th psychic so far. Back to like the army rules stuff. I guess they have a couple special move options.
Yeah, these are interesting. They annoy me a little bit. They're good to have here because it's like, hey, here's your extra stuff. It doesn't fit in the core rules because not every army needs a pulse jet move. Like that's an orc thing. Okay, good.
Yeah.
But they have their nice little boxes, but they don't use the numbering code we had in the core rules. We just got this tech and we forgot it one fucking codex in.
To be fair, it is a little odd to reference the number code in a different book, but it's a core book. So like you should reference that you have to have the core rules to be able to play.
I like that the core rules does say it. So the effect, like on Assault Disembark move, in the effect section, it says reference core rules 0302. That's good.
Yeah.
But these don't have any. Assault Disembark, you have to just put page number 85. Find Assault Disembark.
Yeah, but like, what are you gonna, I guess the thing I'm saying is like, what are you actually gonna label them as? Are you gonna continue upwards in the numbering, or are we gonna start over at 1?
Probably start over because we have core rules 0302. We could have Codex Orcs 0102.
Okay.
That seems fine.
Yeah.
01 being your army rules section. And then you can do it in your detachments and stuff.
All right. Yeah, I'm with you.
So like things can then point to other locations. I'm not saying this is something that will be relevant often, like probably 3 times in a whole edition, but like it would be nice to have access to it.
It does seem unlikely.
Yeah, but it's tech that we could use.
And no real point to not have it on there. Yeah, okay, sure.
This is nitpicking. I am so far in the weeds on this compared to like, this is a generally really good codex from a rule standpoint.
It's interesting to have your army gain special move types.
I think it's important because when we get to like Eldar,
Yeah, like this is how you're going to be able to do the like flip belt or whatever.
yeah, all that stuff of like, you can now just put that there and it doesn't have to get repeated all over the place. If they do agile maneuvers again, I'm not saying they have to, but if they do, that would be how you handle it, is you do a page of these.
I think that that is what we have for army rules at the moment. So it's like the core army rule and then a few add-ons that are generally useful throughout the rest of the faction.
And we'll see how this works in 6 months to a year, a few codices in.
Yeah.
This is the first codex, and for anyone who's played the previous couple editions here, your first codices always play it safe design-wise, and then we start getting a little funky with it, and then the first codices feel kind of old. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, but like the identity of the edition is kind of shown in these first codexes.
Yeah, what we'll be missing is some tech.
Yeah.
Something they thought of too late for this, but it starts showing up in like a year. And then this one will need it in a rules update, I guess paid for online.
Yeah, it will.
Swipe your fucking credit card.
So like it's funny that you're like so negative against the money, which like is a problem. I'm negative that I have to use their fucking shit app.
I'm still not going to. I'm going to install it literally for data slate days and uninstall it. It's so bad. We're going to be doing an app review between all the different apps you can use for 40K. The worst one is the 40K official app. It's bad. In 10th edition, we kind of gave it a pass because it was new and things were free at first. It's so bad compared to the competition.
Let's take a look at some of the detachments because we got 15 of them.
Yes, and we got in an article somewhere. This was told to me by multiple patrons, so I will shoot them if this is wrong with an airsoft gun. But it was told to me that in one of the articles, it was flat out stated that War Horde is 2 detachment points. So I'm going with we have that piece of information. I could not find it in my quick search.
I was going to say, I don't remember that. But it makes some sense because like all the rest of them are, God, I hope, 1-point detachments. They're very clearly designed in the theme of a 1-point detachment. So like it would make sense for your bigger core general, here's the starting point detachment to be 2. So then you can augment it with a 1-point.
Yes, that is the hope. we're going to say we're going to review these as everything but Warhorde is 1 detachment point, Warhorde is 2 until balance updates occur, and then everything goes out the window. But for now, we're going to assume that's the case, and I'm not going to assume any of those cringe keywords exist, because you should only need those because we were backloading into 10th edition, right?
I mean, there are design spaces that, I mean, we've both come up with some.
We talked about this before the episode. We made design space where you can make a binary, do you want this one or this one?
Yeah.
The keyword. There's stuff you can purposely do. I have a feeling that will come later via Grotmas, except for Grotmas is now paid for, get fucked.
Yeah, but like that kind of style. All of these 15 don't have that. At least I don't see it in any way. But starting with our hopefully 2-point detachment, we've got Warhorde. This is the one that looks the most like an old 10th edition detachment. It's got, you know, the detachment rule, some enhancements, and then 6 strats. And I mean, this detachment does a pretty good job of being fairly generic as like a base starting point. The detachment rule is friendly orcs, melee attacks have sustained hits 1, which, I mean, that's good. It's pretty simple. And then, yeah, I mean, from there, like all the enhancements are kind of to be expected. The one that is interesting is the boss is watching. So this one is once per battle per army. In your movement phase, you can use the ability. If you do, this unit is riled up. So that's, you know, the first example tech of taking advantage of riled up army rule Waaagh stuff.
And we see it more later on. It is showing the nice, this is how you do this. We can now activate individual Waaagh for a unit.
Yeah, I mean, Warhorde in 11th is not the same as Warhorde in 10th, even though there is a lot of overlap. But yeah, the strats are all kind of different, but like it's doing the same kind of stuff.
And while we're here, this one has 6 stratagems like you've seen in 10th edition. Every other one either has 3, one of them's got 1 and 2 of them got 0. I'm pretty good with this. It means that no matter how this works out, we are at most dealing with 9 stratagems plus the core strats per game.
Yeah.
I honestly would take even less than that if we distilled it down to good ones, but that's fine.
I think it's fine mostly because, I mean, once you start looking through it more, you realize that a lot of the 1-point detachments, the strats are limited.
Yes, they are very flavorful but narrow.
Yeah, so it's like you can get that many strats, but also 3 of them are only going to be useful on these 4 units in the game kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't actually have the same amount of complexity as just 9 full strats on everything.
Yeah, that's a fair thing to point out. Whereas this one is like orc infantry, orc non-titanic, orc mounted or vehicle, and orc vehicle non-walker. So these are all pretty generic.
Which it makes sense. Like Warhorde, I feel like is trying to be that core identity that you then add a 1-point detachment on it to give it a little flavor kind of thing.
I also like that idea while we're talking about the fact that, like, assuming this is the 2-pointer like we got told it is, that this is your, okay, I want to play orcs. Not a specific, I have a plan, but like, I just want to play orcs. You pick this, and then you pick whatever flavor of the week you want as your last 1-pointer that makes you feel good inside, whether it just be something generic like Green Tide or Bully Boys, or you're like, I want to be shooty orcs, so you grab Shoota Boyz or you grab whatever. It's a nice design for, like, we could have this be the core expectation for all the codices moving forward of you'll get generic, here is your army's like quote unquote index detachment, like your most generic idea of a detachment that you can play and accent it still with something else, or you can play grab 3 themes and throw them together and that's your army.
Yeah, which, not to go too in-depth to all of these detachments, this hot takes is not fully a hot takes on orcs.
Yeah, it would take forever for us to read every strat and analyze how to best use them with all the data sheets, and
yeah,
we're going to keep it high level and mostly talk on design.
I like the idea that it's showing for like other codexes to be like, okay, here's the like core identity that's going to work well, and that's going to be, you know, the larger detachment, and then you can accent it with some of the other ones kind of thing. I feel like, or at least I hope, that they're not going to be locked in with this like 1 detachment is the core identity 2-pointer and then everything else is 1-pointers, because like there are some factions that have
multiple core identities,
more core identities that are actually pretty different.
Sure. Look, if I dreamt up a demon codex right now, we get weird with it.
Yeah. Again, it's not like, I'm not saying like, oh, this is a bad thing right now. It's just one of those that like,
this is our safe D default.
I hope that they don't stick to this default, then they do deviate for some of the factions.
Sure. I 100% am on board with that. We're talking about orcs, which does not have supplements.
True.
When we get to Space Marines, or hopefully maybe they listen and do something like this for Eldar so that you can have more to Harlequins again, or just make Harlequins a full army again.
Be neat.
But like supplements could change the setup here. All right, let's move into Green Tide, the other classic, but it is 1.0ified.
Yeah, so I mean, Green Tide is very much the boys detachment. The detachment rule is friendly boys units melee attacks have sustained hits 1. And if a friendly orc infantry unit made a charge move this turn, that unit's melee attacks have lethal hits for non-monster vehicle.
So that is going to be all over this codex as well, by the way. Lethal hits, non-monster vehicle. I have a feeling that very specific version of lethal hits is what they had imagined lethal hits working like in 10th edition, and then lethal hits was mostly used to bypass the fact that vehicles are tough.
Yeah.
You see this one a lot throughout this codex when you skim it, and I get it. It's a much less abusive version of lethal hits because it can't do the target you want it to do. It's just helping push through extra damage on the target they wanted you hitting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm perfectly fine with it. It's still a pretty solid buff.
It is interesting to point out, the first bullet point, boys melee attacks have sustained hits 1, does nothing with Warhorde where orc units melee attacks have sustained hits 1. So if these don't have a stupid keyword thing going on, which I hope not, then you can accent your Warhorde with this to just get the second bullet point, or take it alone and get quote unquote Warhorde for the part of the army that they want you to have it with here.
Yeah, so like you're actually focused on the boys, and so you're getting still the Warhorde part for your boys.
Yeah, I like it, assuming that's how it works. Again, we're going off of some preliminary info.
Yeah, and I mean, it is one of those, like, a key part of orcs are the boys. So like trying to mimic the core identity of Warhorde potentially in it. Yeah, it makes sense. I like it. The enhancements are pretty solid. Ardboys is an upgrade, so your boys get a 4-up save. Cool. Yeah, I mean, we don't know points for any of this stuff, but it seems useful.
Yeah, I like it for the idea of you've got, let's say, 3 max units of boys. They're, 20-man boy squads with a leader and maybe a support character. And you Ard boys them up. They're going to be a ton of points, most likely, and they get to be a true centerpiece of your army.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, mob mentality is kind of a neat way for passing battle shock. It's just one of those, like, if you have 13 plus models in a unit that's close, you get to auto pass your battle shock. Cool. It is interesting that only one part of this Green Tide calls out the Beast Snagga boys. Mob mentality has orc infantry. The second part to the detachment rules orc infantry.
Yeah, but it's like very specifically, it wants boys and splashes the Beast Snagga part.
Yeah, which makes sense. It's nice that there is that little extra so you can bring them. But I mean, in general, Green Tide kind of seems like it's doing the expectation there.
Then there's Bully Boys. This one is about knobs. Friendly knobs and mega knob units melee attacks have sustained hits 1. Again, this does nothing if you have Warhorde with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to Green Tide, trying to keep the like core identity but focused.
I will say having 2 of these in a row right after Warhorde that are just Warhorde for only their unit. And again, Green Tide at least did a little extra. This is literally just.
It's a little boring.
It's disheartening more than boring. It's like, please don't do this 3 more times.
Right. No, that is true. Like if it just kept going.
You don't actually have 15 detachments then. You had a modular detachment that you turned into 3+ detachments if you did that.
Yeah. I mean, I still do like it. I like it for Green Tide. That's great.
Green Tide's solution was good. Bully Boys, now it's lazy.
It feels a little lazy, but I still think it works okay because like the knobs are a pretty big part of the, orcs, and like sustained hits should work pretty well for mega knobs. Again, I haven't fully looked at their data sheet, but should be okay. It does feel like there could have been a little bit more there. They've got some decent enhancements. Teleporta, boss gives your mega armor deep strike. It's nice.
Oh, because if you didn't, it would do the rule. I was trying to figure out why I said excluding vehicle units. Because if everything embarked within a transport has the keyword, which this does, then the vehicle gets that keyword. So that's why it says excluding vehicle units, so that it would not inherit the deep strike. So you can't deep strike a truck.
That would be fun.
I was like processing in my head, why? What can lead a vehicle? But no, this is specifically to stop stupid shit. I get it. Okay.
Okay. The knobs upgrade is fine.
It's thematic, but I don't think you're taking it while you're engaged. If something tries to fall back from them, they have to desperate escape. And if you're riled up, they have extra. The hazard roll is worse for them. Meh. It's not worth any points. If anything, this should just be knobs in this detachment have this. Because it's flavor text. It's not a big rule to have. It's a fine freebie to give that one unit type.
I am glad that you brought that up because I was thinking that same thing of like, if you put that enhancement into the detachment, it doesn't matter. But also, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it makes the detachment better for my, okay, it's not just the laziest thing on earth.
Yeah, I like the call out to riled up again. That's a fine, like, it doesn't really matter too much, but it's a nice little call out of like, hey, they're riled up, so there's like a little bit extra. Similar thing in one of their strats. Actually, two of the strats that this detachment has have the riled up call out does a little bit better.
Which I will say is a one pointer that does not exist. All the one pointers are very vanilla here. Like when we go through them all, they are take a unit or a pile of very similar units, put them in a detachment together. That gets, you know, a boost.
They're fairly cookie cutter 1-point detachments.
Yes.
There's some cool stuff here, absolutely, and some nice design overlaps and stuff like that.
But I feel like if you were making the codex as a tech demo for the edition to like show off your tech, there should have been other types of detachments. So like if we were to theme out detachments, you have ones that are, we've talked about this before, but you have ones that are based around a type of unit. You have ones based around part of your faction's identity or rule. You've got ones that are based around a phase, but that one's a little iffier on this. But an example would be a riled up detachment. I really want to go all in on the Waaagh turn, or I want to try to maximize how riled up everything is.
I feel like those kinds of detachments could work better as a Grotmas style thing.
Sure. Again, assuming we're going to get those all edition, and that is like some tech from 10th they decided they're going to move forward with. God, I hope so, because it's like the best thing 10th edition did. Then yes, we can say those can be saved for that, but it would have been nice to have one in here as a tech demo of sorts, as like, hey, look, now you can imagine this for your army.
Yeah.
Again, first codex, they're always safe long-term compared to things that come later.
I mean, we did get a couple that are not like perfect cookie cutter of detachment rule 2 enhancements, 3 strats.
They got a little weird with it at points. We'll get to them.
But Flyboyz, it honestly seems pretty good for your mega knobs and knobs.
I have to say, this is the most, wow, this is damn near the most disappointing detachment to me on the list out of the 15.
Really?
It's just, again, it's a nothing. It angers me that it is literally just copy paste from your 2-pointer for the one. The detachment rule is a problem. The enhancement should have been part of the detachment rule. And it's just, it's so very vanilla and nothing.
I guess.
Even if you're going to play with knobs and mega knobs, unless you want to spam one of your strats, I don't think you care about picking this.
I think that's the thing is like, I think these strats are pretty legit.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like, I despise when your entire argument for a detachment's existence is, well, it's got a broken stratagem.
Yeah.
That's a fucking bad detachment.
Sure, but I feel like it's okay. It's just, yeah, it might be on the weaker side.
And again, I'm not worried about if it's weak or strong. I'm worried that it's a shit design. It's boring as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's that boring, but I know that you just kind of hate strats.
I hate when it's the entire argument for the detachment. So the next one does something I love and kind of wish we had had as a bullet point on Flyboyz. Runt Swarm. It's got the classic tech of Gretchen units have battle line. Huzzah! Look, you can change what's battle line using your detachment. Wouldn't that have been nice in Flyboyz? Make your knobs battle line so you can go real heavy on knobs?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how many more than 3 units of knobs you want to fit in a list because they're probably going to be pretty point heavy, but like, at least it's something. It's argument for the design space to be there.
Yeah, I don't know. I disagree on making battle line the sub point to Flyboyz.
It doesn't have to be a specific one. Like, again, the moving wimp kickers to be part of it as just flavor text second ability is fine.
But Runt Swarm, Gretchen's getting battle line. All right. I understand exactly what we want to do. Good. let's continue, because like that isn't actually just it. If that was the only detachment rule, this would be even worse.
Yeah, that would not be enough on its own, but it continues. Second bullet point is when a friendly Gretchen unit is selected to make an advance or fallback move, it doesn't prevent it from being eligible to start an action, which is great because one of the things you want Gretchen for is to be action monkeys, and we're going to assume that this is a priority assets detachment. God, I would hope.
Yeah, we'll see. Since there's a call out for actions, I would expect it not to be just a killy one.
Purge the foe, Runt Swarm.
That would be funny though. The enhancements, so extra sneaky, giving detection range, well, I don't give a shit. But giving Grotz a Scout 6, you have me interested.
I love that this one has while this unit is not embarked. We've got the same thing two different ways.
Yeah. Infested Warzone is cool. Any phase when an enemy unit has attacked, one friendly Gretchen unit that was just destroyed, you can target that unit with a strat, even though it was destroyed. The effect is you add a new Gretchen unit to your army identical to your destroyed unit in strategic reserves at its starting strength with its full wounds remaining.
The second part of that shouldn't be required in 11th edition. I specifically remember this was something we were like I did a lot of 11th edition rule stuff because of Horde mode. I'm pretty sure that you can just do a period after starting strength there.
I am pretty sure that you're correct with that, but I think it's fine to have that reminder text.
It's fine, but just grouchy because I had to pay so much attention to this while writing the rules.
Yeah, I don't know if this is good enough to be worth 2 CP, but...
What is the word scarper?
What?
The next word.
Oh, for the next strat?
Should it be scamper?
I don't know. Sure.
Is scarper like a British term? It's not scrapper. To me, scamper would be the word that this is saying of like the moving the Gretchen unit.
Yeah, the strat itself is very obviously about fleeing, right? I'm assuming it's just British. So, yeah, I mean, I think Runt Swarm does its job and has a little bit of flair, so I'm here for it. I do know that Grotz have changed a decent amount from 10th.
I'll be honest, didn't read the data sheet yet, so I'll be surprised when we get there.
Yeah, I took a quick look and they lost their CP generation.
And it makes sense because it would make it irrelevant to need the war boss for your CP gen per round, because then you could just add this in and, you know, like 2 units of Gretchen.
Yeah, and I mean, I like the idea of having, you know, its attachment that is actually going to make you want to use the units as opposed to just being like, yeah, this detachment exists, but they're going to sit back and be CP gen anyways. I don't care. That's like the most valuable thing they could ever do.
Yeah.
Fixing up the data sheet to allow this detachment to potentially work. Makes sense. Shoota Boyz is next up, and Daka is the detachment rule.
It made it, baby.
Yeah, so friendly Orc ranged attacks have assault, and while this unit is riled up, +3 inch range.
Importantly, nowhere did they give it the sustained hits. That would actually be Daka. Just pointing it out.
I mean, you complained about sustained hits all on 2 other ones kind of thing. Like, what the fuck?
Those were all for melee anyway. To be fair, though, let me double check the basic Shoota. Does it have sustained already? Boys, lethal hits, non-monster vehicle, rapid fire 1. No, it could have had sustained.
Yeah, coulda.
I mean, it'd be real strong. You'd have to make it part of riled up. Giving them essentially +1 to hit in air quotes is a lot on boys.
Sustained with ranged attacks is a whole thing for works that you have to be careful of.
It's never caused problems. Multiple times in one edition.
They have potentially one of the coolest enhancements here with Super Glowy Thing.
I love orc names.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's very stupid, but sometimes I love it.
A lot of times it's so very stupid, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Orc infantry model only, excluding the Weird Boy, which is notable. Model ranged attacks have anti-infantry 4-up, dev wounds, and super hazardous. Which just makes you roll 2 hazard rolls. That's great. I love this. That on its own already makes Shoota Boyz a fantastic detachment as far as I'm concerned.
Is this the only place super hazardous exists? I know you probably also don't know this answer. We've had this for like 20 minutes.
I feel like I saw it somewhere else, but it could have just been I looked back at this detachment again because I did that a couple times because it's cool. I don't know.
So this gets into a design thing. I don't know if I care or if one version is better. If super hazardous exists, in multiple locations, spell it out each time, verse put it once in the army rules section, give it a signifier so things can go look at it, which one I prefer. If it's only in 2-3 places max, I think spell it out each time is totally fine.
I think that's the right choice, especially because it's cool because it shouldn't be everywhere kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a special, very orky, stupid thing. I love it. If this is the only place it exists, very flavorful, very fun, totally fine the way it's written, everything's good, we can move on.
They do have a strat to give ranged attack sustained hit 1 for orc infantry units. So there it is.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a fine strat.
It works better from a balanced thing as a strat, so you have to have a cost.
It's very dangerous on the detachment rule. This is a fair put it behind a CP requirement. Okay.
Yeah, I like Shoota Boyz. I think it'll be a fun 1 point that you add on to whatever else. Speaking of Taktikal Brigade,
The third iteration.
we'll get there eventually.
We got there the first time. It was great.
Yeah. It really was. But yeah, Stormboys have battle line. I think this one is one of the closest to what we have currently.
Yes, because this is one of the 3 that they remade into a quote unquote index 1-pointer.
Yeah. The detachment rule, I'm fairly certain, is the exact same. Stormboys have battle line, and then friendly boys, commandos, Stormboys can fall back and charge.
No, currently it's fallback or advance doesn't stop them from being eligible to do action.
Oh, okay. It is different. Interesting.
Yeah, whereas this one is they just get fallback and charge.
Which, I mean, I guess depending on what disposition Taktikal Brigade is,
True.
you don't really need an action kind of thing.
Yeah, currently it's reconnaissance, which means the action part isn't as important as it would be if it was like priority assets, but it makes way more sense as reconnaissance anyway.
It does make a lot of sense as reconnaissance.
I think the new version might actually just be a better design for it, if assuming it stays reconnaissance.
As much as reconnaissance still does take advantage of the action stuff, if you needed that, there is the strat to unlock it when it's necessary kind of thing.
Yes, mine mostly on the mission. God, I love these names.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, I think it's pretty close to what we have. Throat Slittas is new, I think. I do not remember Commandos and Stormboys having their melee attacks get lethal hits non-monster vehicle.
No, that one's new.
Yeah, I mean, it works.
I'm going to assume the Kill a Commanda is the same as Slippery Git because it's the same thing. And Slippery Git in the MFM has the line that it lets them lead them.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that you can lead commandos if you have Kill a Commanda.
I would hope, given it's even more on the nose naming wise than it was before. That had to be.
We can hope, but again, this rule book does not contain all of the rules.
Yeah.
Which I would be fine with if I could just look them up on the fucking website. If they had a nice Warhammer 40K wiki owned by GW, not filled with fucking ads and shit, then I wouldn't care that my awesome collector thing doesn't have every single rule in it.
Yeah. I like Taktikal Brigade, though. It's not as cool as its original iteration, but it works pretty well showing off Stormboys and Commandos.
Yeah, I think it's a slightly better design than the current version.
Yeah.
It's just the nudges correctly. Again, assuming it's reconnaissance. Who knows?
That's true. Moving on to Wreckas. We've got the detachment rule Wreckin' and Lootin' is for Breakaboys, Flash Kits, and Tank Bustas. In your shooting phase, when they shoot, if they are within range of an objective or the target they're shooting is within the range of the objective, they can reroll hit rolls of 1.
Wait, do Breakaboys even have guns? Aren't they the guys with the hammers?
I'm pretty sure they still have pistols, but I need to look at what currently they have.
I feel like I'm on drugs right now. Those guys have hammers.
Yeah, but...
Are they Space Marines where they just have a pistol up their ass?
yeah. The Knob has a rocket pistol.
One guy has one pistol? Cool. Technically, this does something. Jesus Christ. You could have just put tank busters and flash kits.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's just the Knob.
This pistol rerolls a hit roll of 1. I'm glad I picked this detachment.
To be fair, it's one of those like...
Breakaboys and tank busters are the same thing, so list them both.
Yeah.
It's stupid, but yeah.
And I mean, they didn't want to just have 2 units here because, I don't know. Because they fucking legends to the cooler units. My poor Ludas.
Yeah, we'll get to datasheets in a bit. But all right. So cool. I have no real problem with this. Isn't this very close to Freebooter Crew?
Oh.
Yes. It's the loot objective one. The sustained hits one if you or them is on the loot objective that you pick each round.
Mm-hmm.
So this one's just any objective, but it's just the reroll hits of one, so it's slightly worse, but it works on any objective. It's fine. It's cool. Solid 1 pointer for who it's for.
It's the Luda's ability from 10th.
Okay.
This is what happened. They killed the Ludas and they gave their ability as a detachment rule to the others.
Which makes sense because this is the Death Skulls flavoring, and Ludas are Death Skulls flavored boys.
Yeah.
I get it. This gives you Captain's Hat. Oh, that's right. They did show that off, which technically makes it more like Freebooters, which Freebooter Crew is the one from 10th edition that had Duh Captain. Okay, so this is a little mashup here. Okay.
Yeah. Enhancements Captain's Hat. It's pretty fine.
It's more the funniness.
Yeah. Super Snaz Daka as an upgrade to Flash Kits to give it the Snaz Gun Rapid Fire 1. I'd have to relook at what the current one is, but I mean, that does seem quite useful.
One of the things that I have absorbed from the fact that everyone is talking about these leaks today, and I cannot stay away from literally everyone speaking, is you can make Flash Kits very silly if detachments don't have keywords. Because they are an orc infantry that shoots and are called out here with this upgrade, and like you can do some silly stuff if you combine a bunch of stuff.
Well, and because the Snaz gun is one of those weird, it's honestly kind of awesome.
Let's just go look at it. Let's talk about it now. It's relevant to this.
Okay.
Flash Kits, the Snaz gun. It's got 3 modes: Kutta, Daka, and Kill Shot. Kutta is Hazardous Melta 2. Okay. Strength 9, AP -3, D3 +2 damage, 1 shot, 12-inch range. Okay, just turns it into a Melta. The Daka variant has lethal hits, non-monster vehicle, sustained hits 1, 3 shots, 6 -1, 2. So, okay, that's the Shoota variant. Kill Shot, Hazardous, 8 -2, 2. So plasma, I guess. Which is what? That's what do you guys call it in orcs? Mega for a plasma weapon. They have an orc name.
Is that the Mega Blaster?
I think it's Mega Blaster, yeah.
I don't know, man. They're all the same. Come on.
But yeah, so okay, so it's got basically they have one gun that is a triple combi, choose your mode. It is either a Melta, a Plasma, or a Shoota, like just as a heavy shooter or whatever.
Of note, they have an ability to give extra AP whenever a unit is within range of an objective or the target is within range of an objective.
This is great design. This is something we talk about when we're talking about design. Mark Rosewater's talked about this as a design thing for people making games, of put purposeful combos in for the player to find and feel smart about.
Yeah.
They will see the synergy between the Reckon and Looten rule and the Flash Kits rule, and the fact that they can upgrade the Flash Kits, and they'll be like, I'm cheating. This is so good, when you just point them knowing that they're going to do this.
Yeah. Having some of those like obvious call out combos, but like once you see it, you feel good about seeing it kind of thing.
Yeah. And it will make your player happy, and you have accounted for it. Like, it's all good, and they're thrilled to play it. That's great. This is great design.
Yeah. The strats are interesting. Gun crazy show-offs is, I feel like that could be weird. So in your opponent's shooting phase, you can target a Flash Kit or Tank Buster that was hit by your opponent.
Didn't you have this in 9th?
I think we had something like that, man. I don't remember entirely. But your unit shoots using normal shooting, but can only target the one that shot them.
Yeah. I think in 9th it didn't even require you to target them back. It was like, if they get shot, it riles them up and they get to shoot because they're like, yeah, our guns are bigger.
Yeah, I do remember something like that. I don't remember the exact way it happened, but
I gotta say, this is one of my favorite ones so far.
yeah, I do like the Wreckas detachment. I just hate the fact that Ludas are gone for this. But the Big Hunt is probably one that you're interested in.
Yeah, so we'll talk about this. I did read my Squig Hog Boys because, again, this is the part of orcs I think is cool. So I know a little more on this part of the faction just because it's the first thing I checked.
Yeah, that's fair.
The Hunt is on. Friendly Beast Snagger units attacks the target a monster or vehicle at +1 AP. Niche doesn't activate every game. It's a 1-point detachment and is targeting something that wants to be doing this. It's fine.
I mean, it's pretty thematic, especially like when you kind of compare it to what we had. It works.
I will say that Snake Bites, the old ways, tends to be more about being tanky, which they kind of also went into like the monster hunting with Beast Snaggers and the fact that they're heavy on Snake Bites and like Like those kind of blended together and we ended up with their identity being a combination of tanky and monster and vehicle hunter, right?
Yeah.
When we get into them later, they are not tanky. And while generally I have liked that they tended to have buffed up sheets and made them more impressive in general, and what we will assume will be a higher point cost for things, these got worse. Compared to their 10th edition counterparts. I don't see a world where Squig Hog Boys are as many points as they currently are, and I'm never a fan of us making big impressive things cheap and shitty.
Okay, yeah.
But we'll get into it later. Basically, they ain't got no feel, no pain anymore. And they didn't make up for that fact.
Ah, okay.
They also lost a toughness.
Yeah, that is not great.
It's a little weird. We'll talk about it. But anyway, so the Big Hunt is basically just, again, they're monster hunters and they're doing monster hunting stuff. Monster vehicle plus 1 AP, that's fine. Enhancements, there is no upgrade enhancement on this detachment. Couple points off in my head there, but we got Glory Hog, which is the able to do the fallback and charge. And we got It Came from the Drops, which is a beast boss on Squigosaur, gets plus 1 toughness.
Those are tanky.
Yeah, for the beast boss, who, by the way, is not even a leader. Like, he's just solo now and has an aura like a 9th edition HQ does.
That is rather odd since we already have Mozrog, but sure.
Yeah, now they both do that.
That is weird. That doesn't feel right.
There's some weird stuff on the Beast Snagga side of things. I will talk about it when we get there. Anyway, strats, the classic, you can bounce something, you can do a surge move. The Desperate Escape one's so niche.
Yeah.
This one is like the disappointing, like, this isn't a lazy design. This is not my accusation against Bully Boys.
Sure.
Bully Boys is just bad as a design. This is, I get it, but I also know the game well enough to know that this detachment will suck, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, goaded into action, having surge move can be quite good.
You know what? I bet you money. I thought of something. This is going to have Purge the Foe, and this is going to be one of the few things that does because it's about hunting.
That would make some sense, yeah.
And that is why everything is so milquetoast in this detachment, because they don't want you to get anything good out of a detachment that's also giving you Purge.
Yeah, I can understand some hesitation to giving more offensive buffs when your detachment roll is increasing AP,
But only against monster vehicles.
but it has some restriction to it.
We also lost Lance on the Squig Hog Boys.
Ooh.
I forgot, like, they actively worse.
Yeah, I didn't look too hard at them.
I try not to compare between editions too much because it is a new, fresh design. They can have different roles in an army, right?
Yeah.
But it's disappointing that the large, chunky boys are now going to be like a 70-point skirmish piece.
It does kind of seem more like they're just going to be the fast cavalry kind of thing.
And I try not to accuse GW of the gaming the system trying to make sales, right?
Yeah.
But it's awfully hard to ignore that this mounted unit got gutted at the same time they are renewing the war bikes. Weird, right?
It's crazy. I'll take a look at that when we get there. But the detachment itself, I don't know.
This one's disappointing to me personally. That's why when I was saying I did not like Bully Boys, I had to like pull it back of like, I think I had more negative thoughts on a different detachment I read, but honestly, it was very personal. I'm not a big fan of this one.
I mean, I'm with you. I don't particularly find much enjoyment from this. I think goaded into action and instinctive hunters can be used quite effectively by some players, but
Okay, can I say it from this angle? We haven't gotten to Dread Mob yet. Dread Mob, for your favorite part of Orcs, is the same thing of like, here's your flagship one pointer for this slant. For you, it's the junkyard cobbled together tech. Mine is for the guys riding squigs being monster hunters. Dread Mob is such a better sales pitch for its part than this is for its part.
100% agree. Which we can skip Madcap and talk Dread Mob and then go back to it.
Okay, Madcap's very important, but yeah, we'll do Dread Mob because I think this is a great example of like, here is the same type of sales pitch for a different prong of the army. This one's just fun as shit.
Yeah, so Dread Mob's detachment rule, try that button, is in your shooting or fight phase when a friendly orc walker, excluding Titanic, is selected to attack. You can use this ability. If you do, roll either 1d6 or 2d6. Keep rolling duplicates and look at the table to get something. A 1 or a 2 gives you +1 attack, 3 or 4 +2 strength, 5 or 6 +1 AP. If you roll 2d6 when this unit is attacked, this unit makes a hazard roll.
Couple things here. Number one, the keep rolling duplicate results. It is small, but awesome.
Yeah.
Because that is new. It's always like if you get duplicates re-roll, you can re-roll one, but then you can still end up screwed. Like you get the 1 in 36 of the roll a pair and then re-roll one and roll into the pair again, right?
Yeah.
That's how it works right now for all the things that ever check the like either pick one or roll 2 dice and get both. The keep re-rolling duplicate results. You will get 2 results. I love that. It's not very much. It statistically is almost the same, but it feels a lot better for the player.
From a player aspect, you read that and you're like, oh, the expectation is that you get 2 of them. You still don't know which 2, but like you're going to get 2 different ones. And then you read it and you're like, oh no, I could still screw this up. That's a feel bad kind of thing. So yeah, this is great.
Very minor. Love that. The other thing, and this was just more confusing than anything, they got rid of the stupid hazardous is worse for this. Like this is just roll a hazard roll, which matches what it was in 10th edition, where it was hazard roll but 1 and 2.
Sure.
Why the fuck did they change it at 11th edition to be the hazard roll 1, 2, 3 that killed the detachment? It became terrible, literally just so that at the codex it could go back to what it fucking was.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, the detachment rule was different.
Yeah, it gave different buffs and it was technically different. I think this one is the best iteration.
The effects were kind of ridiculous. I like this design more.
Yes.
It's simpler, it's still exciting, and it's not confusing. Like it fixes all of the problems, even like the keep re-rolling, like it's all there. Enhancements work. The Big Mech one is pretty nice to give lone op. And yeah, I mean the strats are pretty fun. I do like Dread Power, giving one of your walkers riled up. And honestly, Stomping Juggernaut is going to be quite useful to give certain walkers mobile.
Yeah, specifically, both of them do not ban Titanic. So while you don't get try that button on your Gorkanon or Morkanon or whatever, these 2 will work. You can give mobile to your quote-unquote knight. You can give riled up to them. So that's cool. So like you don't get all the extra bells and whistles, but it does have synergy with those units. So they do get a detachment.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, like Dread Mob, I feel like it's extremely well designed. I feel like they learned a lot from the previous iteration and we're like, that we want to do that, just better.
Honestly, that's what this feels like, is like, this is Dread Mob, but better. They just wrote the rules having now seen people play with it and go, we can do this right.
Yeah. And I mean, not even necessarily better from like a power standpoint, but like better from just like design and like playability. I think it's going to do great.
But from a power standpoint, Mr. Stompa Boy,
yeah,
Dread Herder doesn't ban Titanic, which is the enhancement where you can give reroll hit rolls of 1.
Sure.
Dread Power and Stomping Juggernaut also don't restrict Titanic. This is honestly a halfway decent way to get some extra juice into a Stompa.
Stompa has riled.
Oh, it's always riled now?
I'm pretty sure I remember seeing that in their preview, but I'll have to...
I know it got buffed. I didn't pay attention that day to everything that was revealed. I just know that the Stompa got better. Is it always riled? Let's see. Yes, this unit is riled up. Okay, so it doesn't need the riled part. Still, reroll 1s is good and mobile on it, because I don't think it gets that, right?
Does it not from Super Heavy?
Super Heavy gives it the smaller version of mobile, where you can ignore it to a certain height. Mobile is just fucking ignore walls.
Yeah.
Mobile is Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Dread Mob is going to be bad for the Stompa.
I mean, it's probably the only place that has any synergy, to be honest.
It's going to be quite useful for the Morkanon and Gorkanon.
Yeah.
Even though...
There's another one for the Morkanon we'll get to, yeah.
Yeah, and like they don't work with the detachment rule.
It's a knight in a non-knight faction. You're only getting so much support.
Yeah, but I think it works out. I think they did a good job of allowing some of those things through, so it wasn't literally just excluding Titanic everywhere, while still having some things kept in control. But that leads us back into Madcap Meks, which we skipped real quick for a good transition. But Madcap Meks is very important.
All right, you can go into this because this is, again, your jam.
So the detachment rule, Unpredictable Genius, is in your shooting phase when all of a friendly Big Mech, Mech Guns, Morkanaut, or Wazbomb Blasted Jets ranged attacks target a single enemy unit, you roll a d6 and do a thing. So on a 1, you get That's Weird. The target unit has a 4-up invul until your unit has shot.
I love that so much.
It's so good. On a 2 2 or a 3, hop splat, select one other enemy unit within 3 inches of the target. That unit suffers D3 mortals. On a 4, Seekers is those attacks have +1 to hit. On a 5, Lifted is the target unit has fly and cannot have the benefit of cover until your unit is shot.
I love that one. Holy shit, that is flavorful while being a buff.
It's honestly pretty awesome. It took me a moment to like fully realize how brilliant Lifted is from all aspects. 6 is Runtified, and the target unit has -1 toughness until your unit is shot.
Okay, I just want to point this out. We don't get shit early. I have no knowledge of anything that you don't have knowledge of, internet. I made the They Fly Now enhancement that was like based on the same idea as Lifted here for the new version of Horde mode, and it plays around with the same stuff of like, it was offensive for the Horde, but like, holy shit, that's such a great moment with another person doing design work of like, yes!
Yeah, it's pretty good. So, I mean, obviously, you don't want to roll a 1.
But it's very funny. And 2 and 3, depending on your target, may not happen.
Yeah, but it's not a downside, so like whatever. A 4, being able to have +1 to hit, nice. The 5, removing benefit covers, quite nice as well. And then -1 toughness from a 6 is generally pretty good.
Yeah, it'll depend entirely on toughness for strength, but it can be relevant.
I just generally kind of love this for the amount of flavor that's just oozing out of this detachment rule. It has 1 strat, and it's just for our mech guns, which gives their ranged attacks lethal hits or sustained hits or hazardous lethal hits and sustained hits 1, which is always going to be lethal hits, sustained hits 1, and hazardous. That's always like that. There are options
Are
here.
you overcharging? Yes.
But like, you know.
The mech guns, hang on, let me go down to them because they're very relevant here. Isn't the one the anti-fly thing so it has an extra synergy?
Ooh, maybe.
Because it used to be, right? Bubble Chucka, Custom Mega Cannon, Smash-A Gun, and Tractor Cannon. Yeah, Tractor Cannon. Anti-fly 2 up.
There you go.
Dude. This is stupid. But ability, it's got the different abilities depending on which gun it has, right?
Yeah.
The Tractor Cannon also has, this unit is grounded. While a unit is grounded, it cannot take to the skies. So thematically, this doesn't do anything extra, but it's still cool. You are lifting them up in the air, hitting them with the anti-fly 2 up, which is strong, and then punching them back down to the ground.
Sure, yeah. Tractor cannon.
They just get whammied.
But that's very Saturday morning cartoon.
I love it. I mean, yeah, they've got, so the Bubble Chuck is it's just blast lethal hits. I thought that one was weirder.
I think it used to be.
I guess they're all one sheet now. It was probably weirder when it was his own sheet. The Custom Mega Cannon is the blast hazardous, very strong hit. Okay.
Yeah. The Bubble Chucka had the 1 to 6.
Oh, it had like the weird table roll. Yeah. Which is more the detachment now.
Which is fine.
Yeah. And the Smash-A-Gun was like the mid-rangey. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that is fun. I hadn't actually remembered that they had an anti-fly, but
I was like, I know that those guns, one of them was like it's niche because it's a fly thing, but it's sweet because like that's a cool synergy.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
I love little things like that.
The enhancements, so you can give Big Mech always riled up.
What can they lead? Not that it'll be exactly the same, but like what can they lead right now?
We don't know. They can lead the mech guns.
Okay, yes. Mech guns, knobs, tank busters, ludas, well, Ripbozo, Breakaboys, and boys.
They can lead the mech guns, which seems reasonable, though I'm not sure how much I'm gonna want assault on my mech guns. But either way, nice to have as like an option.
I mean, riled up still has the other portions of it. It's got the defense, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just permanently they get a 5-up invuln.
Right, because the mech guns have a 6-up invuln. I was like, they have an invuln, but they have a 6-up. Okay. Yeah. You're right.
So like, it's not nothing.
The temperamental Shaka enhancement is the Big Mech with shock attack gun. It's more randomness added to it. You roll a d6 when you shoot. On a 1, the weapon has torrent, and when this unit has shot, this model is destroyed.
That's fucking awesome.
On a 2 to a 5, you gain an attack, and on a 6, you gain sustained hits too. But on a 1, you get torrent, and they're then destroyed.
And like torrent's good, so it's still like an upside, but it's like a last hurrah moment.
Yeah. Now, like that shock attack gun is blowing everybody up.
This is fun. I love shit like this.
It just works so well in this detachment, in orcs, like Madcap Meks, bunch of randomness. Hell yeah.
Look, if you play Meks, Dread Mob, pick your third.
Yeah.
You're having a fun time, and so is as your opponent.
Yeah, because you're going to be infesting their units with snotlings.
Yeah.
I love Madcap Meks. This is such a cool detachment. But let's move on to Blitz Brigade, where we get to talk about the wagons.
All right. Friendly wagon units can reroll charge rolls. When a friendly wagon unit is selected to make an advance move, it can change the advance roll to a 6. Fine detachment rule, basically what you would expect for something like this. I think the real reason you're doing this is mostly for playing around Ready Brawler strat. This is when the wagon makes a normal move, you can target the wagon, and it can give the embarked unit assault disembark move, which is again from the army rule section, and it's an assault ramp.
Yeah, which is generally pretty good. I feel like the detachment rule could be pretty good on the kill rig or whatever.
Oh, are the rigs also wagons?
I'm pretty sure that the rigs are wagons.
Oh.
I do know that we got a new wagon.
Okay, the rigs are wagons. My bad. Never mind, this detachment's based because the new Hunter rig ability is cool as hell. I take it all back. This detachment's sweet. The detachment rule's awesome.
And we did get a gun wagon sheet as well.
Yes, which is an old version of the battle wagon that is back as its own sheet now.
But I feel like the detachment rule has some play with the Beastnaga wagons.
Yes, we have a very, very good melee wagon in the Hunter rig, so I guess the reroll charge rolls is pretty good there.
Yeah, it is. It's the Hunter rig. I always mix those two up.
Killer rig is the one with the Wurrboy. Hunter rig is the one that usually kind of sucks. It's the big transport.
Yeah.
But the Hunter rig has the Butcher Boys, which is like the guys on it, right? They're a melee weapon. Anti-monster / vehicle 4 up. 4 attacks of 5 -1/1. Like that's boring and normal.
Yeah.
However, they have fully loaded butchery. This unit's Butcher Boys weapons get +2 attacks for each model embarked in this unit up to a maximum of +22 attacks.
That's potentially a lot.
26 attacks. You can just keep this fully loaded and move it around as basically a unit with a defense shield on, just ramming shit.
Yeah. Well, and it's still got firing deck and...
Yeah. It's got the saw blade still. It's got the pig's horns, all that. It's just cool. It can crushing impact for free. I like the new Hunter rig ability because it is maximum fun.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. So in the Blitz Brigade enhancement, they have a boss boomer upgrade, which if a war boss is embarked, the unit has the war boss's intimidating motivation or keep hunting ability.
Okay. So keep hunting is beast boss's ability. It is once per battle round per army, movement phase, pick a beast snagger within 6 of this unit. The unit is no longer battle shocked and is riled up.
Okay. That's the same as the war bosses.
Yep.
All right. Interesting.
I don't think it matters that much, but like if you're trying to do the Hunter rig funniness, I think you just do it for the fun, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, this changes my opinions on things. I didn't know rigs were wagons. I'm sorry. I was unfamiliar with your game, orcs.
I feel like this detachment has a shockingly broad potential, even though it's literally just wagons and a transport kind of thing. But like transports have a lot of potential play patterns, and especially when you have transports that are actually kind of scary to be fighting, it's neat.
Yeah, it helps when I like the model.
Yeah, that's true.
It changes things a lot when I like the model.
That is fair.
Okay, Blitz Brigade, best Beastnaga detachment.
So far, at least. Kult of Speed is up next. Kult of Speed's detachment rule, Adrenaline Junkies. Friendly Warbiker units have battle line. When a friendly Speed Freaks unit is selected to make an advance or fallback move, the unit's ranged attacks have assault until the end of turn, and the move doesn't prevent being able to charge.
Yeah, so advance and charge for all Speed Freaks is really good. Assault is really good.
Assuming that there isn't assault already everywhere on it.
I think it's most of them are missing it just because they assume you want it from the Waaagh and all that.
Yeah.
There is assault all over the Warbikers. They don't need assault at all.
And I'm pretty sure the war buggies have assault all over. Because I looked at some of the buggies because I got annoyed because they removed two of our old buggies.
They combined the 4 buggies down to 2 sheets. Unfortunately, they lost the coolness that is the shock jump.
Yeah. Shock jump Dragstaw is basically just gone.
Which is the one that like is the only buggy I can tell you what it is lore-wise. It is the only cool orc buggy. Why is that the dead one?
I don't know either, man. I'm not happy about this.
Why did we keep the one that is just famous for being a fucking problem in 9th edition? You are right. Literally, this detachment is just to give assault to the Rucka Truck Squig Buggy Squig launches.
I mean, they're not the only speed freaks.
It's them, the war bikes. Who else?
Def Coptas.
Oh, Coptas. But Coptas have assault.
Do they?
Of everything. Why would the copter be the thing without assault?
I mean, they didn't have it before, so they would have had to gain it.
Son of a bitch. They don't have assault. That's so weird.
That's the thing is, like, I look at this detachment rule and I'm like, it is good to always have the, like, we know we have assault. But also, like, understand that that's not actually being beneficial to many things, but also having advance and charge.
Yes, that's very strong. That bullet point alone, because orc vehicles tend to fuck.
Yeah, so it's one of those, like, it's advance and charge, or advance, fallback, and charge. And then, in case you didn't have assault for whatever reason, Def Cop does, you get it. So, okay, yeah, that works. And yeah, I guess the war bikers getting battle line, whatever. I don't care, honestly, on that one.
The new war bikes look great.
It doesn't help that they got rid of some of the unique units.
Let's have the conversation now. We were trying to separate this episode up into segments, but to be honest, when they're relevant, we should bring it up. The Warbikers got updated. Nice, beautiful new models. Look great. Seems fine.
Yeah, they're cool.
They still get a ton of attacks and shooting. They still are orcs in melee. The war track got rechanged a bit compared to the box version, which honestly, we knew that was going to happen. There's never been a box version that didn't get a rewrite at his codex, basically. It's okay.
I mean, it's got a weird lone op thing going on.
It's got the classic, what I always call the tech marine ability. The be within 3 inches of your vehicle, get lone op.
Yeah, but I don't know. It feels...
It works for all speed freak units, so it works with like your bikes and stuff.
It just feels so weird to give in speed freaks a lone op that also is only going to be working with other speed freaks. It feels weird to me.
It's almost weird he wasn't just a support for war bikes.
Yeah, a little bit. That was my expectation.
It's fine. It's technically better because you don't need war bikes now to make the war track playable, which would be awkward because the box came with a war track but no war bikes, so you would have to tell people who just started, like, go buy this unit or this other unit you bought doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
I get that aspect of why it isn't like that this edition at least, but I expect it'll probably be that next edition.
Yeah. I mean, it's got a nice ability. If you hit something, you give lethal hits against it from now on.
Yeah, it's okay. Def Coptas look great. I think they're more great because Def Coptas also are in the plane detachment. We'll get to that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, generally the data sheets seem fine.
But there is the change, which is the buggies all became one data sheet except for the problem child, the squig buggy, stayed its own data sheet still.
Yeah.
But they removed its indirect, which is why it was always separate in its own problem of, like, that is its one thing it had. Just fold it in.
Yeah, that was like the one thing it had.
That's what kills me of, like, why is that the one that's, I know in my heart of hearts what this is. This is painful, but this is your real world answer. If I had to guess, the buggies have never sold well because they were like the 8th edition add-in, and like from what we've seen, they basically have never been huge sellers. They have no overlap of anything manufacturing wise. Every one of them is totally unique in the box. They share no sprues. They're a pain in the ass to make these models and sell them, and they don't sell very well. But I bet you money that the way this was decided was they went, look at them and figure out which ones sold best and just do it separate. And because squig buggies were a balance problem twice because they had indirect fire, I bet you they probably triply sold over any other buggy. So they got a separate data sheet for it because they're like, the players love this one.
It is possible that is. Because, like, my original idea was like, okay, there's going to be the normal buggy and then one that's kind of squig coded to show a little bit of a difference. But you're probably more right.
I'm not going to be shocked if we flat out get told that they're not going to keep producing some of the buggies anymore. And it's just like, those are now alt sculpts for whatever buggy stays that they decide is the basic one. That's probably the cheapest plastic wise.
That makes sense.
That's how things work sometimes of, like, it is a loss for us to keep making all of these constantly when they're not selling enough to be worth it. And they're, you know, there's no overlap. I can't just make one combo box for you to buy. That's really part of the problem of it was probably a miss from a design standpoint, talking as a manufacturer here, to not have these share more components and just have different front plates that were separating them. Like, they are too too different from each other.
Especially like the Boomdaka Snazwagon and Custom Booster Blasta and Rucka Truck Squig Buggy.
They all look the same.
Those kind of could.
They are shockingly different on the sprue for how the same they look together.
The Shock Jump Dragsta is the unique, obvious one. I feel like Custom Booster Blasta is pretty unique as well. But like, I can see ways that they could have designed the sprue to have overlap for some of them.
At least for 2 or 3 of them to lower the amount of them. Again, this is more than likely manufacturing problems becoming rules problems because they sell these things, right? Like it's a toy, get over it.
Yeah.
That said, this isn't the worst problem. So the way it turned out, buggies are now maximum 2 models per unit and rule of 3. So you can have 6 non-squig buggies and 6 squig buggies. I would never recommend you buy 6 squig buggies because I'm totally guessing that is a temporary thing.
It's possible, yeah.
I would just tell you, like, we'll just call it, you can have up to 9 buggies total that are sane to purchase of whatever type you think looks coolest. It's not the worst downgrade from a collection standpoint. There's probably very few people who had more than 9 buggies total. Well, again, more than 12 total in real maximized count.
But yeah, I mean, like, realistically, it's not that big of a deal. I am very annoyed that they got rid of the Shock Jump Dragsta.
I'll say this as a non-orc player who's just read some orc lore. The only one of these that has reason to exist is the Shock Jump Dragsta, because it's the only thing where I can tell you what it fucking does.
Yeah.
It has the funny button where you push it and teleport randomly, and sometimes you're in a wall, sometimes you're in the knight's pilot seat.
It has a pretty good lore part to it.
That one truck has lore. The rest of these are just orcs put a truck together and put a gun on it.
Yeah, which is cool, but seeing that particular one go is rather disappointing. With that said, I feel like they probably added Battle Line to War Bikers because they got rid of some of the sheep.
And they're selling new war bikes.
Yeah, so like it's one of those, like, they want to give those options, but the detachment overall,
I don't have a problem with the detachment. I will 100% understand some salt over what's happening with the buggies, but at the same time, if we're dealing with the realistic, they're probably cutting losses on some of these like bad selling things. I get this solution of, rather than like truly legends it, let's just generic it up a bit, and whatever you own works because they're all essentially the same thing anyway. Maybe we get an enhancement at one point to get one Shock Jump Dragsta back, you know, like just here's an upgrade that you can have a teleporter.
that'd be cool. I do want to point out that Kult of Speed is not the plain detachment, but it does have the ability to use 2 of the strats on most of the planes.
Are they also speed freaks?
There might be one that isn't, but
Oh, I didn't realize the planes are all speed freaks. Oh shit, they are.
they don't have movement. Like, they're not gonna assault and charge.
Sure.
So whatever, but it is one of those, like, because there is a detachment that we're gonna talk about next, you could pair it with Cult of Speed and have Daka Storm give sustained hits to your planes, and I guess make them more defensive with speediest freaks. I don't think it's a big deal, but it is one of those, like, hey, since we're going to be talking about the Flyboyz detachment, just know Cult of Speed does have a little bit of overlap there.
Okay. I didn't know the planes were also, which I guess it kind of tells me with excluding aircraft units on Smoky Gubbins. I should have checked that.
Yeah, a little bit of a tell.
But that said, the Defcopters are also both. So there is quite a bit of overlap between the two should you want. I will also say, just as a spoiler going into this, Eric and I were on the same page. He is quite excited about this because this is the most playable and non-toxic version of planes that I think we've seen GW do. I think they may have finally done it and made planes somewhat usable in 40K without feeling like trash.
We'll see.
We'll see. So take it away.
So the detachment rule for Flyboyz is Skyborne Loons. Friendly orc aircraft units do not count towards the combined points value of your strategic reserves units.
Cute.
I mean, it's one of those, like, maybe it could be a problem, so like now it's not.
Yeah, because you're playing 6 planes and you still want to be able to put something in strategic reserves, sure.
Yeah. It also has, while a friendly orc aircraft or Defcopta unit is riled up, this unit's ranged attacks have +1 to hit.
Now, it only matters one turn of the game. because you'd have to have another way to rile something up.
Right, but we could use the Flyboyz enhancement. Orc aircraft unit only gets the character keyword, and when this unit ends an ingress move, each friendly Orc aircraft or Defcopter unit within 6 inches of this unit is riled up until the start of your next turn.
Importantly, this is an upgrade. You can have 3 Flybosses.
Yeah.
So if you plant your 3 Flybosses well, you can end up with a lot of your army all game being riled up, having 5-up invuln, having +1 to hit rolls from this.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. You're going to be dedicating a fairly large amount of points in like pretty clumped up areas, but
yeah, but like at the same time, you wanted to play fucking planes, man.
yeah, you did want to play planes. So I feel like you probably don't want to go all in and have 3.
No, but like, maybe you do 2 Flybosses and then like 2 other planes and 2 full units of Defcopters, and most of the time you end up lining up where you can tag them.
Yeah, the other enhancement is also an upgrade. Orc aircraft unit. In your first movement phase, this unit can make an ingress move. Holy shit, thank you. I get to play the game from the start.
It is unfortunate you cannot have them also be a Flyboss.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the worst thing. You probably do this on 2 planes, Flyboss on 2 planes, throw in 2 units of Coptas, and then you're also probably playing Kult of Speed, so then you've got some war bikes and whatever else.
You got a stew cooking there, man. I'm loving it. Just generally, it works out pretty well. The strats, honestly, more or less, they just do what you kind of want. I feel like whirligig evasion for the Defcoptas being able to move in your opponent's movement phase is one of those gotcha strats.
It's a really good reactive move too, because if they're riled up, if you plant your Flyboss right, or it just happens to be your Waaagh turn, then the Defcoptas get to do a full 6-inch reactive move, which is really strong for anyone who's never played with full, like, non-D6 reactive moves are real strong.
Seems pretty good, but Flyboyz is going to be interesting. It feels like I might not hate playing aircraft.
Dude, if you have like 4 orc planes of your choosing and you've got some Defcoptas and you just wish that you could play planes without everybody hating you in 9th edition or without hating yourself in 10th edition, I think we might be there.
I hope so. It seems possible.
There's still the awkward thing of, do any of the orc planes have deep strike? Or are they all still stuck playing board edge all game? They're all still stuck playing board edge all game. I just checked. None of them have deep strike.
We're still aircraft in 11.
Well, Space Marine aircrafts get deep strike.
Of course they do. Yeah, they do. Actually, I do remember that.
I just wanted to hit you with that one.
Yeah. That's okay.
That one, again, maybe if this is good, you don't need it. Maybe if this is bad, they just add that as the, like, maybe they should have had deep strike.
Yeah. Either way, I'm interested in it. It seems like a fun detachment. Even if it, like, since it's a 1 point, you don't have to, like, go all in. You could be playing, like, a fairly normal list with 2 other detachments and then be like, I'm going to bring 2 planes.
Yeah, a pair of impulsive recon upgraded planes. Really solid.
Which is exciting. But that leads us into brute bosses, which I don't know about this detachment, man. It's weird.
When a friendly war boss model is destroyed, if this unit has not been selected to fight this phase, roll a d6 with +1 to the roll if it's riled up. On a 3-up, do not remove the war boss model from the battlefield. When this unit has fought or at the end of the phase, this war boss model is removed from the battlefield. Fight on death. 3-up, 2-up if it's riled up.
2-up fight on death is pretty good.
Fight on death is strong, but it's specifically only for the war boss models.
But it's only for the war boss models.
And it's not fight or shoot on death. It is only the fight on death part. So if he gets killed by a shooting army, this ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
Not that many war bosses have the best shooting, but like at least something would be nice. But again, 1-pointer, and the rest of the detachment could be why you're here. Let's look at all the strats.
Let's look at all the
Okay, let's move on to the
enhancements.
Glad we both had the same joke.
There's a couple that are just like pretty whatever, like melee attacks get an extra damage. It's good. But we also have Surly as a Squiggoth. So infantry war boss only. Once per battle per army. At the end of a phase in which this model is destroyed, roll a d6. On a 2-up, set the model back up on the battlefield as close as possible to where it was destroyed, unengaged with 3 wounds remaining. It feels kind of weird with the detachment rule. The whole like come back to life life, but also one of them is just fight on death. Sure.
Oh, that's so annoying. Beast bosses aren't war bosses. I just had to go check to see if they had the war boss tag.
Huh. No, they do.
Where?
Beast Boss. What?
I'm checking Beast Boss on Squigosaur. Does Beast Boss have it, but Beast Boss on Squigosaur doesn't?
Yeah.
Fuck. That's so annoying.
I mean, the Beast Boss on Squig might have it.
No, he doesn't have War Boss.
For sure.
Yeah. War Boss is a keyword down at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's not there. Okay, Beast Boss does have it though. But Mozrog does not have it. He has Monster Beast Snaga character, Epic Hero. And Beast Boss and Squigosaur has Monster Beast Snaga character. Oh, he does have War Boss. Shit, I'm blind.
Okay, yeah.
Never mind, I'm on drugs. I don't know how the fuck I was staring at the word War Boss and didn't read it.
It's a little weird that Mozrog doesn't have it, but
It is weird Mozrog doesn't have War Boss.
the fact that Beast Boss on Squigosaur can't lead and we still have Mozrog, like, that's 2 sheets.
Gaz and Nazdrag have War Boss. Is there a lore reason Mozrog doesn't, or is it just oops we fucked up errata? Defkilla Wartrike even has War Boss.
That is a good question.
Wazdaka also doesn't have War Boss. Why? He's the fucking boss.
Yeah, because, like, the mechs don't, obviously.
Sure, that makes sense. But literally, Wazdaka is the leader of the whole fucking faction. Maybe there's a reason for Mozrog because he's like the lone wolf type, maybe. I don't know. But like, there's no reason for Wazdaka.
Unless they were just worried about, like,
Some interactions.
he
they took it
has
off.
too much other shit.
Nazdrag exists and so does Gaz. You can't use that argument. They both have War Boss.
Yeah, but they're not mounted vehicles with
They're both dumb as shit.
smoke and whatever. Like, they've got normal keywords.
And 5 fucking abilities. It's weird that Mozrog doesn't have it.
Yeah.
Especially because he's a fighty boy. Also, he does not have the boss.
No, he doesn't.
So you would have to make him not be your warlord to get your CP every turn.
Same as Wazdaka.
That feels purposeful then. I guess those two, they were something about them. Maybe there's a lore reason, but something about them, they did not want them to have War Boss or Da Boss. But Gaz and Nazdrag get it.
Boss Snickrot doesn't even have it. What the fuck?
Oh, a Snake Rod I kind of get.
He's a lone op infiltrate. Like, yeah,
He's
okay.
a sneaky boy.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's the one that I like. That one I don't care one way or the other. It's weird for 2 of the quote unquote faction leaders to not have it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, this detachment is weird to me. It just in general, how it plays together. Blitz Boss is a War Boss model only, and a transport unit this unit is embarked within has +2 movement and a 5-up invul. Okay, sure. I guess that could go interestingly with the wagon detachment.
yes.
I could see that being quite annoying.
Yeah, and then you could, I'm not saying this is a strong combo, but then you combo it with the fact that you've got the boss boomer, so that the one that the boss is in is also giving the boss aura. It's a thing.
It is a
We're
thing.
both like, eh.
So, okay.
It's not strong, but like it's thematic. That's fine.
That does bring up, and this is another kind of off topic, whatever, but the fact that there are so many 1-point detachments, there's so much potential to build weird shit.
Yes, I like it. And again, that's why I like when we first talked about it. I feel like this has some more weight now to talk about it again of like, I like that the boss exists of like, you can do weird stuff, but it is encouraging you to also try to be a little sane with your list.
Yeah.
Please build this like orcs. We know you can do real stupid stuff, but like, please build this like orcs.
And it's cool. Like, having all of these options is cool. I like it.
As long as these don't get keyworded to hell, as long as they're all 1-pointers, as long as they've got a decent spread of different type of fitting dispositions, then I think this is a very solid start to the edition for like, this is what you want your codex to look like. I think these are mostly safe. I think we could do some weirder stuff with design space, but like this shows some stuff.
I really hope that we keep doing Grotmas type stuff of like, okay, the codex has the fundamentals and like 1 or 2 that are kind of weird. Because like, to be honest, Brute Bosses is a weird detachment.
It is. It's your war boss detachment if you were to try to say it's just doing another type of unit. It's playing around like Librarius did, but not as cool. Librarius did the same thing cooler.
But then like, we've got from this core codex of like, it ticks all the boxes that are necessary to be a good codex kind of thing. And then we go to Grotmas and like, now is when we get some weird shit. That's cool. I hope that that is the future that actually is going to exist. But yeah, Brute Bosses, I don't know. Like, Brute Bosses is going to be a fine filler of like, I have my 2 detachments. This is kind of what I want. You're likely to have a war boss of some type in your list, so you'll get some benefit, I guess.
That brings us to our last detachment, which is one that Eric and I were sandbagging for a reason, not just because it's the last one in the leaked list we got. This is our Psychic detachment. Let's talk about Psychers some some more.
Wurrband. So the detachment rule, Powers of Waaagh, is friendly Orc Psyker models. Psychic attacks have +1 strength and +1 strength for every 5 models in this unit or embarked within this model.
How many men are inside this weird boy?
Right? Like, I wonder what that call out could be for, huh? The detachment rule also has friendly Orc Psyker models have the following psychic abilities. The Roar of Mork, which is psychic level 1. In your movement phase, if this unit is not battle shocked, you can make a psychic roll for this unit by rolling 1d6. If you do, on a 1, this unit is battle shocked. Select one enemy unit, excluding monster vehicle, within 12 inches of this unit. That enemy unit makes a battle shock roll with a -1 from that battle shock roll for every 10 models in this unit. And the other psychic one is Visions of Violence, psychic level 1. At the start of the fight phase, if this unit is not battle shocked, you can make a psychic roll for this unit by rolling a d6. If you do, on a 1, this unit is battle shocked. This unit has fights first. I'm not too excited by Roar of Mork. I suppose it has its potential, because like if you give enough minus, sure.
I'm staring at the kill rig. Can you tell me what the bonus to the psychic reads as?
+1 strength and +1 strength for every 5 models in this unit or embarked.
Okay, reasonable.
What do you got?
So the kill rig is obviously the embarked one, right?
Yeah. So like for Orc Psyker models, we've got the Kill Rig and the Weird Boy. Like that's it.
Yeah, the Wurboy does not exist anymore. Little strange because if you build a Hunter rig, you have a Wurboy left over, but I guess now he's just a weird boy.
You say strange, I say fucking bullshit. But you know, same thing.
It's just honestly at that point, just make the Wurboy. Like I'm staring at the kill rig sheet right now, and it mentions the Wurboy. Just have it say weird boy and just be like, it's one dude. He's a weird boy no matter where he is. It's just sometimes you put him on the kill rig, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Of like, just get rid of the distinction at that point. Why label it as a Wurboy if you're not going to have him on foot either?
I mean, the detachment name is Wurrband. They got rid of that model. It's just salt in the wound, okay? It's just some fucking salt in the wound. I have enough psychic damage already, but okay, we have psychic back. Let's hear.
All right, so anyway.
Not salty at all.
So the kill rig has Wurboy Psyker level 1. It has 2 spells. It's got the Beast Scent. That's a weird one. And Warpath. Warpath is, I think, the exact same as with the Weird Boy.
Yeah, the Weird Boy has Warpath and the Jump.
Yeah, but is Warpath the same?
So the Weird Boy's Warpath is psychic level 1. Fight phase when selected to fight. If not battle shock, psychic roll, whatever. On a 1's battle shock. Units melee attacks can reroll wound rolls of 1, and the melee attacks have psychic. Keyword. Is it different?
They're not the same.
What is the kill rig's Warpath?
Warpath, psychic level 1, fight phase, blah, blah, blah. On a 1 battle shock. This unit's attacks have lethal hits in psychic.
Oh, that's so fucked.
Why are they different?
That's fucked.
Just give them 2 names. You have the entire... There are so many psychic spells written out through the editions. You've got a whopping 4 of them here. Why did you repeat the name?
Open up a fucking dictionary. You've got all those British words. Use one of those.
Oh, that's so irritating.
What's the other one?
The other one is Beast Scent. Beast Scent is disembarking units attacks that target monsters or vehicles get +1 to wound rolls.
Okay, and same all the same battle shock roll, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, the rest is the same.
That's fine.
So this is interesting because the kill rig, even without Warpath, has the Whir Tower, which is hazardous psychic torrent, 1 attack, so it's a 1 auto hitting attack, 24-inch range, 12 strength. -3 AP, flat 6 damage, and you could have 12 things embarked on it, so 2 pluses from the embarkation. So we can get up to strength 15, AP -3, damage flat 6.
Strength 15. Huh.
So the Whir Tower alone is pretty cool. If we cast Warpath, because this one gives lethal hits and psychic, then during the fight phase, all of our Butcher Boys, who we don't have the funny version, so it's only 4 attacks of them, our extra attacks from our Savage Horns and Hooves, and our Saw Blades extra attacks, all of those is 14 extra melee attacks that will all have psychic on them and lethal hits, and one's got lance, one's got cleave, one's got anti-monster vehicle 4 up, all at different strengths. They would all get up to +3 strength, which would be the Butch Boys already goes to strength 8, the Horns go up to strength 11, the Saw Blades go up to strength 13.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty solid. I know the Weird Boy is the first thing everyone's going to think of, but the kill rig is a really fun psyker for this detachment.
Yeah, it does honestly seem fairly legit. I scrolled down to take a look at the kill rig. I'm gonna do a quick screenshot and paste into the show notes for you, Brad, because this is gonna be funny.
Oh no, you're gonna show me that one has a space on it.
The one below it is the one from the WYRD.
Oh, yours is 3 bullet points. That's weird.
One of them is melee attacks have lethal hits and psychic, which is the way I read it. But the WYRD has a separate line for each of those.
That's dumb.
I mean, it's because I think the reroll wound rolls of 1 isn't like a keyword or whatever, so they don't want to pair them together. But like, oh, the fucking that everything there is irritating.
If they were named different, we wouldn't even have noticed.
The abilities are cool, but like,
God damn it, GW.
It's one of those like fix your game, GGG.
Fix your game, GGG. Anyway, we're happy Psychic's back. It's a fine implementation of Psychic, but for fuck's sake.
Yeah. So like the Detachment Wurrband also has a couple enhancements, doesn't have any strats.
Oh, interesting. The Wurrband's weapon is a flamethrower now.
Yeah, because the Edbanger weapon that the WYRD used to have is now an enhancement.
Oh.
And I think it's basically the same, except it has hazardous, which it basically did before because of its ability. I think it actually went up in damage. But yeah, so you can give a Psyker model the Edbanger weapon, which doesn't say it's only for the WYRD.
That's true. You could put it on your kill rig. The Crunch could also be given to the kill rig, which is probably the one they intended for it.
Yeah, so the Crunch is Blast 3, hazardous, lethal hits, psychic, 24 range.
I'm going off name, not that it's better.
Yeah, it feels more. Though to be fair, the WYRD has energy in the model of eating somebody's face off, literally.
He got them bath salts.
So like, I could see it there.
Warphead's an interesting one. So this is cool design space to see. This enhancement, Orc Psyker model only. The model has Psyker level 2, Deadly Demise D6, and reroll psychic rolls.
Every time I'm taking it.
Yeah, absolutely fair. If you're taking this attachment, chances are you want to be casting psychic spells. You want this, right? Yeah. But this gets into showing the tech that psychic is fully back. We can have enhancements, relics, whatever we want to call them, that enhance our psychic stuff. We can get rerolls on psychic rolls. We can do all the things that we want to do with this.
We can cast more.
Yeah, we can change something psyker level. I love seeing all of this in our first look. They know the tech is there. They're building with the tech. We're gonna have a great edition, Eric. I'm gonna have fun, goddammit.
Kill rig, core ability, Deadly Demise D6.
Actually, wait, does the WYRD not have Deadly Demise?
WYRD has Deadly Demise D3.
Ah, so he gets a bigger Deadly Demise.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, you could have made the Warphead have Deadly Demise 2d6 or d6 plus 3 or something. Like, you could go a little nuts. It's a 1 in 6 chance on death.
I feel like if you were gonna do that, it would be in something else. Like, there has to be a little bit more, but maybe that's just like a wishful thinking of like, make the Deadly Demise actually a thing. Though I do love Deadly Demise.
I do wish there were certain enhancements that would be a little more, do not roll Deadly Demise fucking goes off.
Yeah. There's design space there.
Your Warphead, honestly, if we were going to change it, it should be Deadly Demise rolls are on a 3-up or something.
True, actually. Change instead of making the WYRD do more damage, make it more consistent.
Yeah, make it be like, look, this guy's head is going to explode when he dies.
Yeah, that is more fun to me.
Overall, this detachment is doing things we want to see. This is showing us proper psychic.
It has a lot of good potential for psychic in the edition. So like, not only do we see like the potential for custom spells in the detachments, so you can like, I'm gonna take these 3 detachments to get access to these spells, but it shows off the like psychic is a thing. Not just psychic spells, but like psychic matters in every aspect, which, yeah, this is good. This is good news.
I have to ask, Roar of Mork, why the fuck does this not have the Or Embarked within this? Oh, wait, actually, are those counted as part of the unit? No, they're not. You would still need the Or Embarked within this model.
Either the core detachment rule
has a needless Or Embarked within this model,
or this one does need it.
That's a great question. I'm not going to do the answer tonight because I'd have to go look at a bunch of rules I don't want want to look at. But yeah, so that is all of our detachments. We technically should talk data sheets now, but it's been hours for us, so let's speed through and talk about big ticket items. Basically, most of the newer stuff that hasn't been online for forever already.
Just like a quick call out, it is good to see Gaz back to being kind of scary.
Yes, Makari is no longer just a 2-up invuln save machine. He is now a token that will just give you the extra Waaagh.
Get riled.
I think it's like Gaz is real good.
Yeah.
Like points always depend, but like design wise, Gaz is real good.
He's got like scary stuff on his own. He's got an aura that gives +1 to hit and wound. He's tough too. T10, 16 wound with a 2-up save, 4-up invuln.
And you could do like Waaagh on turn 2, we'll say, and then turn 3, Makari, rile up 3 units again. There's probably a Zerg strat where you Makari turn 1 for a very specific power play to get some advance and charge in a specific location it shouldn't be in.
Maybe. Could be neat. Or just use it defensively. Like you deployed like an idiot because you assumed you were going to go first and are like, oh shit.
No, because it only works in your movement phase, so you can't use it defensively if they got the first turn or something.
Oh, it is in your damn.
Yep.
Either way, Gaz is looking cool. I'm interested to see what points he's going to be because that will kind of dictate a lot of the Primarch-ish scale of points.
Yes. It would be nice if Primarchs were big and impressive and cost a bunch of points, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Nazdreg is also crazy good and has some fun.
Yeah.
If you want to play Shoota Boyz, you're going to want to be buying a Nazdreg just for theme alone, but also extremely strong.
Yeah, it has deep strike, ranged attacks, ignore cover. There's some stuff going on there. Pretty cool looking model too.
The Docker Rig is a character now. It's actually what Eddie screwed up and said during the preview shows, and then they had to delete out of their articles when they realized in the box it was not. So it is now a proper big mech character. Also, it fucks. Good lord, is this thing strong, and then it can get enhancements and shit. Like, this is also a big mech.
It is a big mech. Yeah, that is true. I hadn't thought of that. I was just like, man, it's got some pretty scary ranged weapons.
It does.
That also get sustained hits when they're riled up without even having to deal with enhancements. Just on its own, it does it.
I mean, it's also 14 shots, 7 minus 2/2, hitting on 4s.
Yeah, ignores cover.
Lethal hits too, because you're targeting a fucking non-monster mount vehicle.
That's the expectation.
I mean, that's how you get to have your shots. So this thing is crazy good. Let's say we're doing Dreadmob and Madcap. That's funny. He will not count himself as the big mech model for Dreadherder. He still needs another Orc Walker near him, but it gives him the lone op, and he could target himself with the reroll hits of 1.
Oh yeah.
He just needs to have a buddy that isn't another one of him. That's pretty spicy too, honestly. And you can rile him up with Dread Power anyway, because he is an Orc Walker. Honestly, 2 of these guys, if we're going with Junkyard Orcs, kind of hot. We could have some fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's talk real quick about Beast Snagas.
Sure.
We lost our Feel No Pains basically everywhere.
Yeah.
The individual beast bosses keep their Feel No Pains. So like Mazrog's got a 5-up, Beast Boss on Squigosaur's got a 5-up, but they're not leading anything. They're solo and have auras.
Right. Which still, Mazrog makes sense. Yeah. But I think I saw the like normal beast boss also has his Feel No Pain.
Yeah, he's got a 6-up. But yeah, if you go to our poor Squighog boys.
Just scrolling down, I saw the Beast Naga boys don't.
Yeah, they don't.
It looks like they did gain a 6-up invuln though.
Correct, but that's not as good as the Feel No Pain.
No.
Yeah, and the Squighogs also, they went from their 5-up Feel No Pain to a 6-up invuln. They went down a toughness. They lost Lance.
Oh, you lost the toughness as well?
Yeah, they lost both.
So that's T5 then?
Oh, they're T6. I thought they were T7.
Were they T7?
In my head, they were. Or am I thinking because they're snake bites?
No, you might be right. They were T7. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, they were T7. Yeah, so they went from T7 to T6. They lost a 5-up Feel No Pain. They got an invuln.
Are they still 4-up save?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they're slightly more killy. I don't know, dude.
They lost the Lance, though, on their... Like, they've got +1 damage on charge with Brutal Impact. I don't know. They do not feel like they could stay at their current point cost.
They're not super expensive right now.
They're only 140 for the basic 4 model unit.
Okay.
Bro, they have to go down quite a bit. They lost a lot. They basically became like light skirmish.
Yeah. I mean, it did kind of seem like that was the design intent. from like the detachment, but it feels wrong, especially because Squig Boys previously were fairly tanky.
Now, part of that is inheriting the fact that Snakebite's whole thing is being defensive, right?
Yeah.
But it's still weird. I'm not saying this is like awful, but it feels wrong.
I mean, it does seem a lot more like they are the like fast attack cavalry. Because I mean, like the +1 damage on charge.
Which is, I guess, making up for Lance, but it's harder to get the wound.
Yeah, but like 3 damage kills basically everything.
Well, except they're supposed to be hitting monsters and vehicles.
Yeah, I guess what's the strength on the Stika? Is that what it is?
Yeah, strength 5, AP -1, flat 2 damage.
Strength 5.
Yep.
I don't remember it being, I guess, yeah, it probably was.
It was strength 5, but again, everyone else used to be strength 4. It should have gone to 6, technically, if you were trying to keep it in line with how it compared to boys.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it's got anti-monster vehicle 4 up.
I feel like they got more niche to exactly more anti-monster vehicle only. Because, like, compared to everything else, they will be less good at wounding stuff that isn't a monster vehicle. You could argue that on monster vehicle, because of the anti-monster vehicle 4 up, the +1 damage versus the +1 to wound is at least a wash, probably just straight up good. But just losing a 5 up feel no pain is crazy.
The fact that it just straight up loses a 5 up feel no pain and a toughness is a huge downside. Like a 6 up invuln is nice. That is not nothing. But a 6 up invuln could maybe make up for losing a toughness.
So yeah, they are basically just an anti-monster vehicle missile at this point.
More glass cannony. It would have been interesting if they increased the movement to kind of like denote that.
Yeah, I just feel like they got worse.
They definitely got worse for what you're trying to do, but they potentially got better as like a splash piece to deal with certain monster vehicle things. Like, okay, you're going to take a unit of these.
My problem is if you're playing Beast Snagas, everybody is anti-monster vehicle. That's their gimmick.
Yeah. But well, then that's what I'm saying is like you don't
play them as a faction. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the problem is like if you want to play them, fuck you.
Yeah. Like they seem kind of worse at being the like primary focus and better at being the, oh, here's a couple units to do a thing really well.
Yeah. It is worth pointing out, we kind of talked about it a little. The Ludas and the Burna Boys are gone.
Yeah.
The Wurboy's gone, the Buggy's gone, but we talked about those. But those are the other two that are gone. They're very old kit.
They are old, and as much as I think they're still kind of cool, it's mostly their idea is cool.
Yeah, they look like shit, Eric.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But if they were redone, that would be amazing.
And we were talking about this. If the Burnas and the Ludas had been redone, they'd look great. They're things people like, and we were kind of shocked they weren't. Like, we put off the Exploring Orc episode, which we're going to do soon. We put it off because we were like, obviously there's a lot more to reveal still. They're not done revealing stuff for the Orc update.
Yeah.
Except we got to the Codex already. This is it.
Yeah.
So it felt weird that those two didn't get an update. And then it felt more weird of like, I feel like this update's a little anemic. Like, it's not 0, but I felt like Necrons and Tyranids both got more.
And like, it's not just the Ludas and Burnas. Like, there's other models that are still kind of old that could use some work.
The Stompa alone is ancient as well.
Sure.
The Death Dread is ancient as well. Eric hates the Killicans.
Killicans. There's a bunch.
I think all the battle wagons look like hot trash.
Yeah.
Flash Gits and Storm Boys. Now, Storm Boys is almost 100% going to be a kill team in 3 years type project, right?
I mean, I would say the same for Flash Gits from potential.
Sure.
There's only so many that we can just be like, yeah, kill team's gonna save us.
Yeah, Mega Knobs look like shit compared to Knobs now, which is hilarious to think about. Of they're supposed to be the same guy but in bigger armor, and now he's like dick sucking height.
To be fair, the Mega Knobs have been kind of derpy for a while now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential that they could have done more updates.
So we were talking about this, and it got me thinking, am I just thinking orcs deserved more than they did, and this is about what Necrons and Tyranids got?
Right.
So I went on the internet and started counting.
Because like Necrons got a bunch, and I feel like Tyranids did, but also I don't know if I'm counting some of the like Raveners or whatever in that.
I had the same thought of maybe I'm counting things from after the launch. So I went on the internet, and let me tell you, there's a lot of porn on there.
It's good shit.
But Also, I was able to count up the new orc models. I totaled what I would count as 15 new kits.
Okay.
Technically, you could argue plus or minus because of whatever, but I'm counting 15 new kits that make a unit, right?
Yeah, like refresh or new.
Or new. Then I was like, okay, so we have Tyranids last edition, Necrons before that, and then we'll do Death Guard as bonus points from 8th edition.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. Because like it's gotta be something similar.
Tyranids felt closer to me, but I felt like Necrons was going to be a slam dunk huge difference.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking as well.
Orcs is sitting at 15. Tyranids last edition, counting the edition opener, like plus minus 3 months from Codex, right? Like, you know, things that would appear in the Codex.
Roughly around Codex release.
Yeah, so like plus minus because, you know, one or two things like the knobs will come out after the Codex, they already said.
Okay.
The things from Codex launch. Tyranids had 17, which is only a couple more. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm just remembering things wrong.
Or maybe GW just forgot to do the Ludos and Burnos.
Sure, that would get you to 17 if you yeah, sure. And I would have counted that as 2, even though it would be 1 kit combo.
I feel like they might want to split that up.
Nowadays, they probably would just to sell you kits twice, right?
And like they should probably be different enough, but either way, whatever. So 17 from Tyranids. Necrons, it's gotta be more.
It is. It's 19. And I was like, okay, I'm not insane. It's at least 4 extra models.
That's still slightly less than I expected, but also
It's less than I expected. In my head, it was like 24.
it was like Necrons, the range.
Like the range, yeah. Now, Necron's got a shitload last edition sprinkled throughout of like an extra 6.
Yeah.
Which is probably what's helping that.
Still 19 versus 15. That is, yeah.
It's considerable. Death Guard. I was like, surely Death Guard is in line or lower than Orcs because it came out with the Primaris update. So like they were probably second fiddle by a long shot.
Death Guard's weird though.
Death Guard was doubly weird. I'm actually lowballing this considerably because I am not counting the 5 different kits that made up Plague Marine launches as 5 different things. It's 1 Plague Marines. I'm not doing the fucking...
Oh.
Technically, this guy and these 2 other guys are both 2 other separate kits, and they redid Plague Marines twice in 2 months. It's just Plague Marines 1.
Yeah, okay.
With all of that like compressed down, it's 18.
Wow.
So Orcs is actually feeling like it's missing a few things. And I'm not going to be shocked if we find out there were issues and something couldn't get launched.
Yeah, I mean, we won't actually find that out.
No, every once in a while we get pretty accurate leaks of like the whole
Yeah.
Eldari 9th edition was only half a refresh because there were manufacturing issues. And then we got the other half of the refresh in 10th and it was like, yep, I believe that 100% because I've worked in manufacturing.
But like, if we do get a sprinkling of orcs throughout the next couple years, it could be a little bit of smoking gun.
So that was just very interesting to actually go through and count.
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
It's not horrendous, but it's strange to me because Orcs is like the most popular Xeno.
It seems like a slam dunk. Like that's the kind of thing that you can commit resources to with an expectation of getting the return.
That said, we don't know. I still kind of think the buggies probably flopped, which is part of what's happening with buggies, and that they're like a bad manufacturing call.
It is always difficult from the outside to see what the actual numbers are.
And it's stuff where like I can be an adult who deals with manufacturing stuff and enjoy wanting to know that answer. I understand that as a company, you don't admit to mistakes like that to your audience because your audience is fucking dumbasses and they will not understand and appreciate that you have to cut losses at points and that you can make mistakes in manufacturing things wrong and go, you know what, we need to not do it that way.
Yeah, it's a very valid concern and legitimate thing of it was a fine idea. We executed it poorly and are now making less than expected or potentially negative. And like, we can't keep doing that. So it's going to be cut. Maybe we'll revisit it at some point once everybody's kind of forgotten about it.
But on the other end of things, it could be that they threw more money at Necrons and Tyranids because they were less safe bets.
Oh, one of the like, we need to make sure that this doesn't fail.
If this fails, we're just cutting this faction from the fucking lore and cutting our losses.
Yeah.
Whereas Orcs is like, we'll just softball a good refresh. Everyone will love it. Orcs are easy to make beautiful kits for, which they absolutely, every every one of these, awesome. Love the new kits. It's possible they went limit the budget because it's going to be successful and we'll spend that budget on next refresh, whatever else is in the pipeline, right? Like move that over.
And I mean, it's not even actually not just like money. There's also like developer time kind of thing, like modelers and all of that of like.
Yeah, time is money. All humans are resources. You are nothing but numbers on a paper, I assure you. I have seen the paper.
It's one of those of like, if you can be fairly confident that you don't need to do quite as many new sculpts here, then you can allocate that time to some other stuff that might need it. I could see that being a valid reason.
While we're doing Soulless Businessman talk in this episode, a fun work story to annoy one of my employees with a real life work story.
Ooh.
I was explaining things about how we build jobs and stuff like that, right?
Okay, yeah.
To one of my employees. And when I was explaining it to her, I likened it to your paycheck is a subscription service. If we could replace you with something that does not need a paycheck, it would be good. Then we get rid of one of our subscriptions for the same amount of workflow. I'm explaining basically automation stuff and why you would rather have a robot rather than a person who needs a paycheck.
It turns out that insurance is expensive.
Insurance is a big one. There's a whole bunch of other stuff we rattled off. And she had this moment where she was like, I need you to know how soul crushing it is to think about the fact that my company sees paying me for my work as a subscription service they don't want.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, that's pretty disheartening when you think about it as a person rather than as a heartless, logical being. But yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. It definitely does paint the picture a little bit differently.
You are a tool used to create a higher profit than you take as a resource. If you do not meet this requirement, you will not be here.
Oh no.
If I can find a way to skip this requirement, I will.
Yeah. The yearly, I need to take a look at which subscriptions I forgot to cancel. That's just normal downsizing.
Right sizing, Eric. It's the big 26.
Yeah, right.
Wait until I explain to you what a peanut butter raise is.
It's just a correction in the market.
For more stories like this, we have a Patreon where we do bonus content. You don't get any more in the mainline episode.
Fair enough. Yeah. We can do the shout out, tie it in.
Okay, we can be done. We've talked about all the data sheets that I cared to talk about. There's some cool stuff. Gorkanaut and Morkanaut look fun. Morkanaut looks better than Gorkanaut, but they both look fine.
Stompa's legit.
Generally, I like everything. This is a good codex. To summarize this, if this codex came out in 10th edition and had the fact that you can combo up detachments, right?
Yeah.
This would be so much better than every other codex in 10th edition, it wouldn't even be a comparable. This is so much better than the shit we've been getting.
100% agree.
Is this perfect? No. This is amazing compared to 10th edition.
It's got a lot of potential as well for the rest of the edition. It's exciting stuff. And honestly, I'm pretty excited about playing orcs again. Maybe doing some cool stuff. Maybe put a plane together.
I was just thinking, I'm like, yeah, maybe put those planes together that are sitting on my brother's basement floor. Actually, I think several are on the floor of your apartment room right now behind you.
No, not behind me. They are moved into a different room. I tried and then stopped.
I built 5 models. All right. So with that conclusion out of the way, we can go back to our clever segue we had to abandon because we hadn't actually finished the episode. So back to that Patreon thing. We've got one of those.
You can join great patrons like a slice of lemon wrapped around a large gold brick at patreon.com/SlowlySingleton.
And I just want every Zoomer out there to know that if you don't know what a Pangalactic Gargle Blaster is, you have some books to read. Required reading for enjoyers of sci-fi and fantasy and anything else. Honestly, just enjoyers of life.
Yeah, don't panic.
So long and thanks for all the fish, guys. But before we get out of here, we've got some patrons we shout out every month because they are so awesome and pay us so much. Some of them are Justin Udachik,
King Lemming,
Yen,
Kozik, but I wrote Eric some 40k foot fetish fanfic.
Kugoth cured by bald spot.
Lucas.
Landfall hater.
Logan Grimnar can be my daddy bear.
Lord of Chaos.
Matthew Tsushima.
Michael Melcher.
Miracle Dice have forsaken me. Praise Chaos.
Mr. Diesel.
Mixolodius.
Burnt toast.
Morpheo 55.
Narako the Transbian Shark.
Nate Brown.
Nemesis the Noodle Blade.
Nico Maxon.
Not EE.
100,000 Zongor to Prospero.
Pacific Rim 3, The Return of Christ.
Pierce forgot about changing their name as a bit for a while.
Proteus 7331.
Purge the Joe.
Quaylen.
Rain Pletcher.
Reigns 13.
Retheus Khan.
Ringwraith.
Rock.
Rogue Trader Jake.
Ross Warlock.
Roth.
RT Snake 44.
Rubric does taste like Cool Ranch Doritos.
Remora.
Sriracha sauce.
Scott Scott the Irish.
Wow, you died on that.
I did.
We also have producers that we thank every week because they're so damn awesome. They are Ethereum, but on deployment.
Billy the Git.
C5 Dynamite.
Certified Peg Star.
Charles Lang.
Demolition Man.
Dolphin Caviar.
Gilgamesh Versus.
Hanging out with my men of iron named Jack.
I'm all out of jokes about decks.
Is it me or do 1 point detachments feel too safe?
Kiwi Fruit Bird.
Le bloop bloop.
NJ Harlan.
Pizza 00100.
Psycho Spaz.
Robohap.
Sam Brown.
Scott the Jim Crab, Mr. Festastic.
Skolder Odinson.
The Blackest of Templars.
The fucking God Emperor of Mankind.
The guard will be fine this edition, right? You've still spelled guard wrong for like the last month. I've just not been calling it out, but like it's spelled wrong.
The Safety Man.
The _ ow fire warrior who _ learning to shoot.
Tricky as a one.
The Great Day. Eric, show us your feet. And we are
Victorian Batman.
visiting the subreddit for Dark Angels in public. Based.
War Game Simulator.
And Yoo-Hoo High Priest.
Thank you so much for supporting the show.
And on that note, we're out of here, everybody.
Sounds good.